So the Spartans will keep it on the ground. And right up the middle with a huge hole. P.J. Brown across midfield. Will they catch him? Brown inside the 20-10.
Big chance for Hillcrest to put a stop to what had been a promising drive for Vestavia. Taft lines up, takes the snap, and he's going to follow his blockers. Left side, first down, and more. Taft on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Vestavia.
What a great job by this offensive line to get in there to get a good push.
Meadows, he's got that in the corner. He's going down there right side. He's stutter steps. He's still up. He's still up. He's going the ball. He's in. No flags. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
They put Morgan in motion again. Another high snap. This time, it's on the ground. We got it. Vargas got it. Yes, sir. We got it. Who's that? Already in the red zone here. First and 10. Ball at the 19 for the Jaguars. 6:51 left here in the first quarter. A lot of motion for Spain Park. Play action this time. It's going to be a bullet right up the touchdown, Jags. That was a beautiful call by Coach.
Wake up, Coach. We got a special guest on with us tonight, Coach.
Okay, then.
Oh, yeah. We got Miss Morris back on again. She gonna be talking college football recruiting from a parent, the mom perspective tonight. How you doing again?
Love it.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing
Good evening,
good.
ma'am.
Good.
I'm glad you're
Hey,
here
how
with
you
us.
doing?
Oh, great. This is going to be great.
Thank you.
That's her
Well, I got
son
I
right there
got
on the
cut off.
screen.
I got cut off earlier. I don't know what happened. I think I was having some technical difficulties. So,
That's why we
um,
had to come back with round two.
yeah, yeah, yep. So, what you want to wait a few minutes, Kevin, or I'm good to
Well, we can
go?
let some more people come on. They go
Okay.
Warren.
I was
They
gonna
go
try to see
Warren.
if I can get his daddy
Yeah, do
to
that.
come on,
Do that.
and that way he can join in.
Yeah.
And yeah, might be.
Oh man, we get the whole wake up, Coach.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How you doing, Miss Moore?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Tell you, she got look, boy, they been out to Colorado. Boy, I'll tell you, Colorado ain't don't owe nobody nothing out there, boy.
Hey man, I want to know. Hey, I want to know what that
No,
feeling like when you walk out there in the student section, got your picture hanging up.
man. Look, you see, my boy was showing all his teeth, right?
For real,
And Caleb don't smile at all. My boy was so happy. Oh my God, he was so happy.
man.
So yeah, that was an experience.
Tell you, I'm telling you, that was big time. No, that was big time. Oh man, everybody. Oh man, we put this on the screen. They say thank you, Ms. Morris, for your insights. Reach one, teach one.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
You're
I'm
welcome. You're welcome.
telling you, man. We might well go ahead and get started, Warren. We was trying to wait on some people to come on. I guess they already on.
I'm telling you.
Telling you, man.
Um, let's see. So what should I kind of start over from what I was talking about earlier, or just feed off of?
Warren might have some questions. Go ahead, Warren and Jeff. They might have a question that can, get us started.
Just let me
Okay.
know if I asked you something that they asked you last night, because I ain't had a chance to go back and watch the show yet.
Oh no, I didn't get any questions. Like last, yes, this was earlier
Earlier
today. It
today,
was more.
Warren.
It was so spur of the moment. I was just listening in on the podcast that KT had, and I couldn't figure out how to get my ass off mute. And come to find out, it's because I wasn't in the back office, I guess. but
Mm.
but
Uh,
but so I was just listening in, on the football talk and stuff like that, and the back and forth between, the people that was on there talking about they school wisdom and Vigors, all the conversation was about. But
Yeah.
and then I kind of just fed in when it came to talking about just recruiting, and I got asked about the visits, and that's kind of how it all started. So I don't think it was anything that you'll probably ask that I was asked. But go ahead, I'm listening.
just how it's been. Cause if I'm mistaken, you went to Vigo Blunt because you played sports too,
Baby
right?
Wolfpack, what are you
Okay,
talking
yeah.
about?
You played sports too at Vigo, right?
I did.
Okay. I thought I remember that. Just tell me how,
Who am I
like
talking to, first of
this
all?
Warren. I'm sorry, this Warren Washington.
Oh, hey Warren, how
How
you
you
doing?
doing? I'm
Okay,
doing good.
yeah,
I'm doing
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Just talk about how it is, like how hard it is to not send your kid to your alma mater and put them in the best situation to still be successful. Or was it hard at
Ooh.
Oh
all?
yeah. Okay. So we got approached a lot about sending Caleb to Viger. Because me and his dad both came out of Viger. We dated in high school. I was 3'6" girl, he was 3'6".
Okay.
And so we got approached a lot about getting our like his teammates, that we all had sons, several of us had sons around the same age, and about getting them all back at Viger to play. And so me and Caslow, we had conversation about it. Because of course, for Caslow, like he would love, Caleb has his Letterman jacket, so he would love to see his son wearing green and white, of course. But it was a lot going on with Viger. And so we didn't feel like that was the best fit for Caleb, as far as, development. And honestly, we feel like we made a good decision to send him to Mary G. Um, because of the fact that we feel like he wouldn't be in the spotlight he's in now if he would have went to Viger. Um, just because it was like Viger and changed, head coaches a lot, you know,
Yeah.
within these last couple of years. And then as far as the exposure of the kids, I feel like we fail our kids in a sense with getting them exposed and getting those tools, having those tools to get them exposed. And so yeah, that was kind of, I think, the best decision we made was to keep him at, you know, to let him go to Mary G. Montgomery instead of letting him go to Viger. But of course, his daddy, we Wolfpack all day and night. So he would have loved to see his son, playing defense like he was. True enough, Caleb not playing linebacker like his daddy, but playing on the line and dominating on the line and stuff. Yeah, he would have loved to see that, but it just wasn't the best fit. And then the kids nowadays aren't raised in the same circumstances we were raised in.
Exactly.
So, it's different circumstances. Um, we had, and his dad will tell you, like they fought differently back then.
Exactly.
You had something to fight for per se. And these kids nowadays, they don't have, I mean, they living in the suburbs, they got cars and all this stuff. These children don't have that drive. Um, and so, the MGM was the best decision for
Gotcha.
him. And I actually told his coaches that I thanked them for what they did, because I feel like without them, he would not be in the position that he's in to have received what 21, 29 D1 offers, Bama, Auburn, Miami, Mississippi State, Houston, Colorado, UK, all these schools. Like he wouldn't have been in that position if he would have went somewhere else. So yeah.
When was that time where you and Cashflow looked at each other and was like, "Whoa, we here"? Like, what recruit reached out that let y'all know that it's real?
We re well, I would probably say um when we got the first SEC school, because everybody, you look at the SEC, that's the conference.
Yeah.
Everybody want to get in the SEC conference. The SEC have the dolls. The SEC have the running backs that are like stallions. You like the SEC is like the conference. So I think it was when we first got the first SEC offer, which was his third offer actually, because he had Tulane, Houston, and then he got Mississippi State. So I would say that was when we was like, oh snap, we got SEC, you know, type of thing. So, and it was after
Time
that,
to put
it's
some
like
pads
they
on.
start coming. Yeah, they started coming then, and then it was like, okay, Caleb, and he was like I said on the call earlier, Caleb didn't go to camps. So nobody knew about Caleb. Caleb didn't go to camps. We didn't know anything about camps. And me and Castle have a unique way, but it works. We know our lane and we stay in our lane. So me being mama, I know how to stay in my lane, and I don't mess with the football side of it. I don't mess with the athletic side of it. I let his daddy handle that. I handle the schooling, the grades, ACT, like all of that part of it. And
Got
so that's what worked for us. But yeah, when we got SEC, it was like, oh yeah, this is about to get serious. And then they just start ringing in after that.
Oh yeah, after you get that first one SEC, it's a damn whirlwind after that.
Yeah, 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 it was. Yeah. But another thing too was, like I said, when Castle was playing ball, you didn't have, at least for us kids, you didn't know about like the camps, and it wasn't all the camps and things. So, you know, we just been there with Caleb from Park Ball, and you watch him blossom, and I always knew Caleb always had that heart, like he was the kid with the heart. Didn't have the talent, but he dang had the heart, and he was gonna be his daddy. And his goal was, he go everywhere, and everybody talk about his daddy, his daddy, his daddy in the city, and he was like, "Mama, I can just go. It ain't nobody that my daddy don't know." And he was like, "I can go somewhere, and they be like." You Cass little boy, because they can look at him. He looked just like his daddy,
Exactly.
and and so he was like, his goal was to be better than his daddy, in high school. And so you hear the stories and people talk about how hard his daddy hit, and you know, running backs will be like, I ain't never been hit that hard a day in my life, and your daddy almost got ejected from a game because he hit somebody so hard. So that was like his motivation in high school, is he want to get out there and he want to hit harder than his daddy. He wanted to be better than his daddy.
T-
And so yeah.
Tell me this, like,
Mhm.
because a lot of parents get it misconstrued and they take park ball way too serious and want their babies to be 5 stars in park ball with scoring touchdowns and doing all that. Just tell the parents how that really ain't worth it. That ain't the main goal. The main goal is to get
Mm-mm.
to the right high school and the right coach.
Correct. So, Caleb didn't part ball. um, Caleb played for Westmobile Buccaneers. Caleb started playing at 4. No, 5. Caleb started playing at 5. and his brother was 6. But that's when we got them introduced. Of course, they dad played football, so it's like, hell, both of my boys get ready to get out here on this field, or whatever. The oldest, I told his daddy, I was like, sorry, baby, but that ain't your football player. So we're gonna move on from that one. And you know,
Gotcha.
and Caleb was the one that just wanted to play. But Caleb, like I said, Caleb didn't have talent. Like Caleb wasn't, we wasn't, and his daddy was not like on him like that. Like, you gotta play, you gotta play. Caslow wasn't out there trying to coach or none of the above, because Caslow looked at it as if he wants to really play, he's going to grow into that. He's going to build into that. And that's kind of how his daddy took it. Like I said, I always left the football up to Caslow. So I didn't really get involved with that. I always told him, look, if I pay my $125, because that's how much it cost him, your ass gonna get out there. I don't give a damn if you just standing out there looking. You gonna be out there, cause for the whole season. But it wasn't no big thing about playing. You know, we weren't we wasn't those parents. Fussing because our child didn't get no playtime or none of the above. I mean, it's a kid's game. The kids just excited about being on the team and being out there. Um, Caleb started coming into in middle school. And this is when he switched from West Mobile Buccaneers to Sims. He started playing for Sims Colts at the time. I think they Vikings now, but they were Sims Colts at the time. And they were trying to figure out, Caleb had gained a lot of weight. Um, so they were trying to figure out what position to put Caleb at. Um, and then Caleb started playing for middle school, and he played for Causey. That's when I think Caleb really got the love for football then. It wasn't from park ball. He just had that drive, like, I want to play because my daddy played type thing. But he really started coming into in middle school. And he in middle school, he kind of outgrew everybody. And that's when he started saying, I want to hit like my daddy, I want to hit like my daddy thing. And end up going to MGM. And his freshman year, well, actually, we went to a summer camp. And the coaches was like, Mom, we need him here. Because remember, I said Caleb went to Causey, where Baker is Causey feeder school. So it was between Baker and Mary G as far as where Caleb was gonna go. But the coaches was like, Mom, if you send him here, he gonna go D1. And at this time, Caleb was big, for his age. Um, and the coaches was like, we're going to we're going to have your son on our resume, is the words that got used. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm like, Caleb, where you want to go? Because I always, kind of gave my kids a choice, like, where you want to go. You want to go here, you want to go to Baker, whatever the case may be. And so he was like, well, I'm gonna go to Mary G. It's in the district. I can catch the bus right up the street, da da da. And so that's when it really became um, important, is high school, not part ball. You know, we've experienced the part ball where, like, kids get tired too. So, you're out there and you're wanting these kids, yeah, to be these part ball stars, but the part ball stars is not where it's not really what um you want them to be. good and great in high school because that's when they're progressing to the next level.
Exactly.
Um, like in part ball, like we didn't care. I mean, it's a kid sport. Like let the kids be the kid, be a kid. And that was a big thing me and his dad looked at. Like we couldn't, oh my God, we couldn't stand, to see parents out there, acting like their children is in the NFL or somewhere, or, in college playing ball. Like these kids, just let them enjoy the sport, because if they enjoy the sport, they'll continue to play the sport. But if you're putting so much pressure on them at such a young age, they're gonna get to the point that the sport they're gonna get tired. They're not gonna want to do it. And that's when you have the kids that they lose that interest. Um, and so not saying all, but that's kind of, what you see happening. And so, but high school is where you want to be at. You want to put them under, good coaches if you can. Coaches are important for the kids at this age. Very important. Because not only are you helping develop an athlete, you're helping develop a young adult, a young man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So coaches are very, very important in high school. Um, and that is, I think, what got Caleb, and I applauded his coaches. I sent them like a long text message, like thanking them, specifically his D line coach, because he poured into Caleb, and not just the sports side of it, the becoming of a man side of it. Because you got to think about it, these kids are spending more time at school, and when they're playing varsity football, they're spending probably more time around their coaches, the men that coach them, than they are the man that's at home with them. So being able to pour into those kids and pour into the young men, is very important. So, picking that atmosphere to where they're going to be able to develop those kids and develop your sons, but then also not just develop them on the field, develop them off the field. So
My brother told me 2 years ago. He was like a lot of people getting credit over here at MGM, but he was like, I'm telling you, Caleb Moore's the one. So he said that two
uh
years ago to me. So I
yeah,
kind of look. I'm gonna
he
let you in on a
he
little.
um he
Go ahead.
humble, like and I'm not just saying that because that's my child, but I've heard it from principals. They was like they have never come across an athlete that is as humble as Caleb is. I have teachers that call me and they're like, Miss Morris, I'm just calling because I get the phone call. You see the 221 number and you're like, oh shit, hold on. Let me pack up. Let me grab my purse. Let me go on up to this school, because they know, like I told my kids, since elementary school, your school around the corner, baby. It is nothing. Let me get a phone call. I'm on the way. And so but I thank God I haven't had any problems out of them. But I get a phone call and the teacher is like, Mama, I said, what do I my first thing, do I need to come up there, do I need to head up there? She was like, no, no, Miss Morris, no. She said, she was like she was like, I'm just calling because I'm not feeling well, and I'm standing in the hallway and Caleb stop and say, Miss So and so, it's gonna be okay.
Wow.
And she was like, she said it just touched her because she was like, he was able to look at her and tell she wasn't feeling well. And that's what he stopped and said. And so, he's a very humble kid. Um, and that's one of the things that Deion Sanders told him this past weekend is, we have to be able to, as a freshman supposed to get paid X amount of dollars, now with this revenue share part of it. And he was like, we got to be able to sell the amount of money that we paying you, because that's coming from the school. So we got to be able to say why we want to give a freshman X amount of dollars. But we can point to what you do on the field, but what makes us be able to say we can give you this money is your behavior and your attitude. And Caleb said up there is yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, sir, no, sir. And it's just, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking at behavior, they're looking at attitude and things of that nature. And Kaz will always tell them your attitude determines your altitude. It's going to say how high you can actually go. you know I'm blessed. We're blessed actually to have such a humble kid. And Coach Rose, I got to thank him, because he called me Kayla's freshman year, and he was like, Mama, what we need to do to bring the dog out of him, Mama, what we got to do to bring the beast out of him, Caleb, big kid, big, 6'3" at the time, I think his freshman year, like 250 pounds. And it was like, what we need to do. And because he ain't have it, he ain't have that beast, I guess, that they saw he can have. He ain't have it in him. And I was like, shoot, I don't know, ask his daddy. you know and so he kind of told me a story. He was like, well, look, like, Mama, we had something to work for. We playing ball trying to get our mama, or our parents out of certain situations. He was like, Caleb don't have to worry about any of that. Like, Caleb living good, eating good. So, Mama, what can we do? I said, I don't know. you know and so I told him just recently, I said, I don't know what you did. I said, but guess what? You got your dog,
I'm
because
telling
you done
you.
brought the beast up out of him.
Well,
So,
look, I got an inside joke about his genes on his daddy's side anyway. And
uh-oh.
I told Marcini, Mario, Sion, and Caslow probably about 15 years ago. Any one of their sons get over 6'1", they go into the NFL. Just because I know Gene and Jacorian
Oh,
in the NFL and Caleb up next.
yeah, yeah.
I
What you
told
know them jeans.
I know them Gene.
Everybody,
All they got to do is get
what?
over 6 foot and they gone.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody built like linebackers.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and
Caslows, I
that's what
think.
Caslow say. Caslow tell him all the time, boy, don't you stand next to me. You stand
Yeah,
over
shit.
there. Don't stand
I,
next to me.
I think Caslow was working out with us. He was in the 7th grade. Shit, we was in the 11th and 12th grade.
Yeah, yeah. Always, yeah. He always working out. And he be, oh Lord, he be about that physical activity, I tell you. Yeah.
Tell everybody about the experience when you first saw Deion Sanders and he was talking to you.
Oh my God. I'm never speechless, as y'all probably can see. Like, I can talk, okay? But when I say I was speechless, Caleb kept looking at me like, oh, I know my mama got something to say. And his mama ain't had nothing to say. I'm talking, I was starstruck. Okay. So
Oh,
Caleb enters first. And it's me, his daddy behind me, and Coach Pecco. Um, and we're entering this big ass office. Are y'all gonna have to edit my language? I
oh,
No.
nah,
just
you
thought
good.
about that.
Oh, you
Oh,
said that. You
okay.
want to say on here?
Oh,
Nah, you
okay.
good.
Cause I have to be mindful sometimes. But
Yeah.
so we enter this big office, you know, and Dion sitting in the chair, and he get up and he, shake Caleb hand, or whatever. He know who Caleb is. So that's another big thing. It was like, Coach Prime know who I am, mama, that type of thing. So he know who Caleb is, whatever. And then he comes to me to give me a hug, and he was like, he said, oh, mama, he said, you got some pretty nails, some pretty red nails. And I was like, thank you. So go to dad, and he said, oh my God. That is huge. You know? and so and so Coach Pecco was like, yeah, we might need to suit daddy up for at least one snap. And I was like, oh no, we don't want to do that. And so we end up sitting down, and I'm sitting like directly in front of Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Coach Prime knew. I know him as Deion Sanders. I'm like
Exactly.
right in front of Deion Sanders. You know what I'm
Put your
saying?
pads
The
on.
the only athlete to go to a Super Bowl and a World Series. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
telling you,
I'm sitting in front of Deion Sanders. You hear
prime
me?
time.
I'm talking about right.
Prime
Put it like this: I could have lifted my leg up and I would have touched him. That's how close we were. Okay.
Don't live,
So
oh Lord.
Put your pants
Oh Lord.
on, man.
look, so I'm
Put your
sitting
pads
there.
on, baby.
Look, I'm sitting there and he's talking, talking to Caleb, and just telling
Hey,
Caleb how
sorry.
he don't
Sorry.
recruit freshmen. He was just, and he very straightforward. He don't sugarcoat anything. And he was just letting Caleb know, like, I don't recruit freshmen. I recruit straight out the portal. He was like, so son, you gotta be very special for me to be recruiting a freshman, or whatever. And so he just talking to Caleb, talking about his why and things of that nature. And then he was like, Mama, you got anything? And I'm just sitting there, my eyes just buck, my mouth damn hanging open, nothing to say. When I say nothing, nothing. I couldn't even,
What? Now
He
I couldn't
set
she
even
you
say,
up.
hey, I
How the
couldn't
hell he
say
set you up?
nothing.
now
Oh,
we done talked for 16 hours today.
I'm
You
telling
ain't
you.
have nothing to say?
time. Hey
Nothing
man,
to
that was
say?
nothing.
Rodney,
Literally,
that was
I
prime, baby.
had nothing,
Prime got that
nothing
set.
to say. I didn't have a
Hello?
question, a statement, a
Hello?
nothing. Like, I am like speechless. And so, like, Caleb is looking, Caleb looked to his left like, Mama,
Mama,
you
fix your lip.
always got
Fix
something
your
to
lip.
say.
Fix your lip,
Close your
mama.
mouth, mama.
You're drooling, mama.
I
Woo.
was like, I just couldn't believe it. Like,
Take
I'm
your
like
take your
looking,
pads off, mama.
I'm
Hey,
telling you, take
man.
them off.
I'm sitting there and I was just in such awe. I'm like, I didn't look the man up and down. You hear me?
Oh
I'm
hey,
talking
boy.
about didn't probably counted every gray hair on his chin.
hey, Caleb,
Like,
Caleb say you ain't ran no red fingernail polish next time y'all go.
let,
Caleb say you gonna wear some black fingernail polish or
Hey,
something next
we're
time.
gonna leave you out there with the
Hey,
mamas.
wait a minute, hold on now, Kayla can't say nothing about that.
hey,
But that's what a divorce looks like. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Lord.
So
Get on.
yeah,
Oh, Lord.
yeah.
Lord.
So
Straight to
me,
the field on that.
so let me tell you. So we are great co-parents,
Oh,
but
Lord.
and you probably wouldn't know, but we divorced.
Put
So
your
okay,
but
pads
okay,
on.
we
okay.
do
Put your
this.
pants
We do
on,
what
Lord.
we do for we do what we do for our kids.
Okay,
So
okay,
yes,
okay,
we're gonna show we're gonna come with a united front when it comes to our kids.
and that's the
So
way it should
nobody will
be.
ever really know, honestly,
Exactly.
because that's how we come. We come as a united front. I understand the role that he plays when it comes to sports, athletics, and things of that nature. He understand my role. We know each other's strengths when it
Gotcha.
comes to our children. So you stay in your place, you stay in your lane. I'm gonna be mama, but I know my place. I'm not gonna get into his conversations when he's talking to these coaches and talking about developing his son because that's not my place. That's not my lane. Hell, I don't know nothing about playing no damn football and developing no athlete.
Gotcha.
So why would I even entertain those conversations? Why would I have conversation? Why would I put my 2 cents in? That's not my space, you
Wh-
know.
what are
So
some of the
Mama, take
things?
notes.
What are some of the things that you see that a lot of mamas mess up in this process because it's really a business decision that you're making. Uh, what advice would you give some of the moms out
Well,
there?
I would start off by saying this. It's definitely it's definitely a business, and we have to learn how to first separate business and personal. So me and his dad with that, this is business. This is our children. You know what I'm saying? So our relationship don't trump the relationship for our kids. And I think, it's sad, but you really do see more moms in this environment with their sons than you see dads for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I
I
will
know the
say this
reason.
though, if you have
The
a
system.
child, a son, if you have a son that has a dad that wants to be active, I don't care. And when I say active, and I know I'm getting ready to probably be shot down when I say this, um, I'm not gonna say active when it comes to money because we got to take money out of the equation um when it comes to being active. You have a dad that wants to be involved with their son or with their children, period. Regardless of the financial part of it. Yes, it takes money to raise these kids. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but don't push a daddy away because especially when it comes to these boys, that man is important. Um that you cannot as a woman raise a man to be a damn man. I'm sorry, you were not born with a penis and two testicles, so you can't do it. You don't have that
Amen.
testosterone. You don't have that.
and the
So,
church
Amen.
said,
regardless of what you do that as a mother. You are not a father. You are not raising the man to be a man. You don't know how to be a man. So, you can't raise him for that. We got to learn to step back and let these fathers raise these boys and be participating in whatever these boys got going on and be involved to whatever level they can be involved in. Um
Now,
so that's just my take on it. I could never say I
not
raised
all
my
days.
sons.
Now.
Well, I ain't gonna say not. I mean, I know it's some dads that don't want to be involved. I get it. So
There's
as a
some
yeah,
that
mother,
don't
you got
need
to
to be
do
involved.
but you got to do what you got to
Yeah,
do.
you're
You
right.
know what I'm saying? As a mother, but there are some. It's the other way around.
Yeah,
They want to be there, but we put these financial stipulations on whether or not you can be involved, and it pushes that man away. You know what I'm saying?
I
Or
really,
oh
I
yeah,
really
you
think what
basically push
y'all
that man
doing.
away.
I really think what y'all doing is great
genius.
because you going in there. Uh, if you got stepdads that they ain't got no say so for real because they can only do what the mama tell them.
Right.
That they can do.
They
But
the
that
kids.
dad,
Yeah,
that
kids
dad
too.
gonna stand on his own two toes. I mean, or 2 feet rather. So
Well,
that's
I mean,
that's important because you talking about the
I'm gonna
business.
say when you say stepdaddies, hold on, because I look okay. Well, that's a whole nother. Don't start that, Kevin. I done told you stop starting conversations. You don't be
I'm gonna
wanting
get
to
you
have,
going. I'm gonna
cause
get you going.
I got conversation for you now. Look, we gonna talk about stepdaddies. First of all, um, you can't as a woman, I can't look at it as a stepdaddy. It's a bonus. You got an extra.
Bonus dad, yeah,
A bonus dad, which
yeah.
means that if you're filling those shoes, shit, you filling those shoes. So guess what? That means that a bonus is an extra. So that means my son or my kids gonna have two damn daddies.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But some people, some men can't let go of.
Oh yeah.
The bonus daddy. I'm the daddy. Okay, that's
You,
another topic.
hey,
I'm a,
hey, 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 calm down.
Hold on now. Hold
Hold
on
it.
now. We ain't mean to
Hold it.
I'm
the
just saying.
children.
It
You
almost
yes,
went left.
you donated, you participated. That's your sperm.
No,
I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But still in all, they don't mean that your child cannot have extra. Ain't nobody
Oh
trying to
yeah.
take your place. Because like
yeah,
I tell anybody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody Castle gonna be mama.
mama. No.
No.
Ain't
Hey,
nobody take my place. But they can have a
no.
bonus.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shit, you just got an extra.
ain't nothing like extra.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you. Extra
You just
credit,
got an
all that.
extra.
Extra money,
Yeah.
all that.
You got an extra.
That's if they doing extra.
Well, that's if they don't, but that's a whole nother story
That's a
too.
Yeah,
That's a
whole
whole
nother
nother.
hold
story
That's
on.
right
a
there.
that's
Why you
another
got
that's another conversation outside of recruiting 101.
I'm gonna tell
I
you
didn't.
though,
Yeah,
hey, 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 here it is though. When you go in there to make those decisions, talk about not overloading your kids' social security number. You was talking about that earlier.
Oh, okay. So it's a business. Um, so what we did for Caleb is because it's so what parents don't know. Um, and we didn't know. We actually found out, but I'm a researcher, so I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna research anything. I can spill out to you the Alabama High School Athletic Association's rules. I know them. I done looked up NCAA rules. So, but that's just me. I'm a digger. I'm gonna research stuff. But because it's a business, your child's or your athletes, your student athletes monies, which they can get three different pools of monies um on the collegiate level. They have a scholarship that they receive from the university. That scholarship for football players come with a stipend. And that stipend is different depending upon whether they live on campus or off campus. And this is pretty much across the board. They get, I think it's like $800 to $900 if they live on campus. And some on campus housing is better than off campus. Like they stay in apartments depending on what the school is, or who the school. Um, and then if they're off campus, it's like 1,900, almost $2,000. They get a month. So that's one payment that your student athlete gets. The second payment your student athlete gets is the revenue share. So this payment is based on, they just had the judge ruling on the NCAA ruling that came out. I think it was July, I believe it was,
Hmm.
where the judge they had all these rules and they end up giving like your power four, your P4, P5 schools like 20.5 million for their athletics. Um, and then the school decides how they want to divvy that up amongst their athletic departments. So most schools, football is the moneymaker. So with that, football is going to get the bulk of the money. And then football determines based off of what they get. Like if they get 14 million, say for instance for football, then they decide how they're going to divide that up. That's left up to the school. The NCAA didn't really say how to divide the money up. Some schools split it in half. Offense get half, defense get the other half. And then they end up. Some schools do it based off of the way the NFL does it. On offense, the quarterback gonna get paid the most. On defense, the D line gonna get paid the most. But that part depends on the school. That money that your student athlete gets is 1099. So your student athlete is paid as a contractor on that money. That means it's not taxed. They're responsible for taxes and all of the above. The third block of money that your student athlete can get in a month is the NIL, so the name, image, and likeness, which is based off of their brand, which a lot of freshmen don't really come in with a brand, but they start building it once they get on the collegiate level. And state of Alabama don't allow high school athletes to get paid on NIL. Some states do, but Alabama, we're gonna be the last to do anything. Um, so our high school athletes don't get NIL or can't get paid like on the NIL level, but they can begin to kind of build their brand because from talking with these different general managers, that's another thing. You talk to GMs nowadays. Talking with the GMs on the collegiate level, the players um, may come in as freshmen, depending upon the school, and they may get some NIL money. That just all depends on the school because NIL comes from sponsorships, things of that nature. Different brands that want the student athlete to
What?
basically,
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
their brand pretty
yeah, the
much.
gear.
Yeah. Whether it's the gear, like one school got Lululemon. Is it Lululemon? What's it called? Lulu. Hold
Yeah,
on, let me ask one of
Lululemon.
these terms. Lululemon.
Lululemon.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
I said Lululemon, didn't I?
yeah. I got a
Anyway,
little daughter.
well, or some Lulu something. I don't get into all that, but they do. So like the boys get paid off of Lulu. You know, um, some schools, like say for instance, Nike may give them so much gear. So the boys wear the gear. Social media is a big thing. They go off social media. They go off of now every NIL deal have to be NIL NIL has to be entered through the NIL
Portal.
dot yeah, it's an NIL portal that determines your value to say the player get paid X amount of dollars. They have to be approved through this portal now. So anyway, that money, 1099. So is not taxed. What a lot of people don't understand is if you are 1099 and you're not taxed, one person you gonna always pay to the day you leave here is FICA
FICA.
and the government. Okay, they want their money. So if your child is getting all of this money not taxed, you think the government ain't gonna want their money? So what we did for Caleb is Caleb has a LLC, so he got a business. So he's gonna go into college, and the college is they're gonna have to pay him through they're going to pay his business. So they're not going to pay his social security number. They're going to pay his EIN number. His EIN is going to pay him.
Gotcha.
So business paying business. The plus side is many plus to that because you got to look at it. If you've been working, you've been paying taxes. You know how the government tax the hell out of you under your social security number. So you're going to be taxed. These players make a lot of money, so they're going to be taxed. Well, how are you going to not have to pay all those taxes? You know what I'm saying? Just because your business, because that's really what it is. It's a business to business. So why not let your business pay you as the individual? So get an LLC, the school pay the LLC. On top of that, the plus side is now you as a player, and I'm finna drop what they call them, some gems real quick. You as a business got straight into college with a government contract, because what is a college?
Institution.
An institution. It's a
Yeah.
governmental institution, whether it's public or private. So guess what? You got a contract with a government institution straight into college
Wow.
with your business.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you,
So
man.
do not let them pay your child's social security number. That's basically upside of that. On top of that, if you want a little bit more extra money, also get your child a nonprofit. So Caleb has a LLC and a nonprofit, because what you're going to do is you're going to roll them together pretty much. So you're going to your nonprofit. So he is going to represent his nonprofit. So if he do certain appearances, that can be under his nonprofit that also is a part of his LLC, more like an umbrella type of company. Okay. But of course, a nonprofit, you can't profit any money. So, but it's going to be a tax write off for
Exactly.
your LLC
Gotcha.
by doing things under your nonprofit. It's basically the way you do it. So I advise everybody, when your kids, I don't care at what level, if they're getting this money, 1099, get them at LLC and get them a nonprofit if they're an athlete. And that way they can do different things under their nonprofit. If they come back here, and even if they just go to their high school and they speak, okay, that is volunteer work through their nonprofit, is what it is.
Coach
So that
Ford,
that's not something that I learned from this recruiting. I will say that that's something that I just kind of know, being
oh
a
yeah.
business owner. So I will drop that there. So that's where I play a key part in the partnership that me and his daddy have when it comes to him. Is I kind of handle more the financial side, the business side of it. He handles everything with the sports, the athletic side of it. And that's how we stay in our lane. We know our role. He know if he got anything to do with the business side of it, talk to Shanika. Talk to Shanika. Caleb is gonna send them Shanika way. Mama, so and so getting ready to call you. I gave them their number. And it's funny because I was laughing on the phone with a GM because they was like, he was like, you know, a good kid, because he was like, he didn't even try to entertain the conversation. Kay was like, oh, you need to talk to my mama. My mama handling my money. you know, you need to talk to we say you need to talk to my mama. My mama handling my money. So but yeah, that's that part of it. They're gonna be
We got
1099.
we got Coach Ford on. Coach Ford, you got any questions? Uh, for Miss.
Uh, Man, she's just—it's almost like we're just slight interview and just let her roll. You know what I mean? Uh, it's been great just letting you go. To be honest with you, but let's see. I started to think of a good question for you. What about your experience, like interacting with college coaches on visits? Like, what did you learn about like their evaluation process for your son specifically at his position?
Um, for Caleb, so like I had mentioned earlier, Caleb didn't do any camps. So what we realized when we started going on these visits is that a lot of coaches didn't know about Caleb. Um, and so when they saw his huddle film, I guess that's what you call it, where they put all the highlights and stuff like that together, um, they were like, they didn't think like, no, this kid can't be this good and we don't know about this kid. Like, who is this kid from Simmis, Alabama? They don't say Simmis,
You're right.
Alabama.
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
and so and like that's what we kept hearing is like they was like, no, we didn't know, we don't know nothing about this kid. We knew nothing about this kid. So from what we got told is they was like, no, this got to be just a fluke. This can't be how this kid play. So they actually reached out to his head coach at Mirror G and was like, they want to see actual films, like not just this highlight tape. Let's look at films. And they sit in these meetings and they actually tell us this. Like they pull Caleb games, like the whole game, and Caleb plays the whole game. So he's playing every snap. The defense is out there. He also play um when they kicking the field goal. He one of the big people or whatever, when they call go big or whatever they be saying. But anyway, so he's out there like the whole, and so then the coaches are like, they end up looking at his film and they like, okay, wait a minute, this is really how this kid plays. Like this is really what this kid is doing. Like every play, every snap, like this is him. And so um they just be in awe. So then they sit there and they talk to Caleb, and then they're in awe again because of Caleb's knowledge of the game. And he always tell them, they'll say, well, who taught you that? And how do you know that? Because so they start drawing these squares and O's on the board, that I don't know nothing about. And Caleb, you say, oh, mama, this me right here. It'll be a T or something up there. He be like, this me, you know. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll, start talking to him and be like, so what would you do in this situation? Or what would this position do? What this position? And he get on there and start drawing whatever he drawing and all this. And then they're like, hold up, kid, like, how do you know this? Like, this is stuff that we're trying to teach college players and stuff. And he's like, well, my D-line coach, which is Coach Rowe. What's his name? Rowe. What's Rowe first name? Romeo. Oh, Romeo Rowe. What the hell? Oh, Romeo Jones. Oh, okay. I just know about Coach Rowe, but he'll be like, his coach, and the college coaches will be like, you got your coach number? And because they're like really surprised that Caleb knows what he know. But and so we're sitting there and like, even like just this past visit at Colorado, Dion was like, he was like, told Caleb, he was like, look, I don't recruit freshmen. So you have college coaches like that. They don't recruit freshmen. They go straight to the portal. They have the portal. They have experienced college players that enter the portal. And Dion told him, like, I go to the portal. I recruit out the portal. I do not recruit freshmen. He was like, so you got to be a special kid to be sitting in front of me as a freshman, you know? And so he was like, but we know what you can do on the board. So they created this whole uh, video or PowerPoint basically that they presented to Caleb, where they compared Caleb to the Eagles, Jason Carter, I believe.
Jalen
Jalen
Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
that plays for the Eagles, D tackle for the Eagles.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they compared him to Caleb to him, and they were showing Caleb his plays and Jalen Carter plays. And they were like, this same move you doing, this is what he's doing. Like they really put it on the board, and we were like, what the hell? You know, type of thing. And so, but they told us, we can offer you this amount of money However, this amount of money is not because of what we see on this film. This amount of money is because of your attitude. So that's like a key takeaway I would tell, parents and also players. These coaches are they're giving away college money. Okay. That 20.5 million that they got is to the college for their athletic program. So guess what? They gotta sell to these college people up on this higher level of why I want to pay this freshman X amount of dollars. And if they feel like you're not gonna represent that college, you got bad behavior, you got a badass attitude, you are not coachable, because this is all the stuff that we're hearing. And if you look at Colorado coaching staff is nothing but NFL, prior NFL, it's NFL players.
That's what I'm gonna ask
That's
you.
another thing.
Did you
That's
meet
another
Warren
thing.
Sapp?
Oh, baby, I met Warren Sapp. I met Marshall Falk. I met
Okay, then.
Pecco. Yes, honey.
Okay, then.
Oh, yes. And Pecco just got out the league, what, about 3 years ago?
Yeah, he just died.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like he do not he have nothing but NFL coaches is what he have. But to hear all of this, what they're looking for, they want players that are coachable. If you got a badass attitude, they look at you as not coachable. Guess what? They cannot sell you to this school at this
Gotta
ceiling
be coached.
price. You got to be able to be coached,
Yeah.
you know? So they can't sell you at this ceiling price because the school is going to be like, no, he can't represent us. So you got to have a good attitude. You can't be a problem child. They don't want problem children no more. I don't care how good you play.
This
They
is
don't want you.
this is this is why I'm telling people it's not really based off how good you are. How good you are get you in the door, but your
Hmm.
attitude gonna keep you inside the door. And
I bad
everybody,
you gonna get you out of that though.
yeah, you see what I'm saying, Roger? And God,
Yeah.
a lot of these
Yeah.
kids might be better, but they can't get in the door long enough to even, be
And they need
look
to
at.
go
Yeah.
to JUCO and get their mind right.
Exactly, for real. A lot of these
Yeah.
kids are
Yeah.
destined for JUCO only because they're not ready for that type of business type atmosphere, you know.
But they ain't ready to grow up.
Yeah. But you have to be, like I said, you have to be coachable. They have to feel like their investment is worth it. And that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Is they gotta give away these folks money. They're giving you these people money. And like that's what I tell Caleb, that it's a business, baby. You going on a freaking interview. You better
Yeah.
put your bet. Don't you get in there talking like I ain't get you no good education. And like you be talking to your friends. You better get in there and articulate.
You know what I'm
Don't get on
saying,
TV
fam?
like
See,
don't get on TV talking like I ain't get you no good ass education. Like you be around here texting with all these damn letters that don't nobody know what it mean. Like, don't do that.
oh, what
Like,
you
no,
doing?
you know.
Was he able to connect with Carter Smith up there?
Yeah, yeah, because we know Corday on a personal level. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that was nice. But Corday played O line, so they had an O line recruit there that they kind of let Corday be
Okay.
with, and then they had Kayla with a D lineman. But the students knew Caleb. That was another thing that was just like that had him in awe. Like I've never seen my child smile. Caleb won't smile. I'd be big and Caleb take a picture with me and show your damn teeth, you know, and he just would not do it. But when I say his smile, and he was showing all his teeth when we passed by the students, and the students start calling his name,
That's
and
that
then they
growth.
held up this big ass picture of him
That's
that
that
they
Yeah.
growth.
had got off the internet somewhere and printed out. on this big ass glossy poster board. And he was like, oh my God, he was like, Mama, they got a picture of me. And they did. They had a big picture, rolled it right up, flipped it right on out, and I was like, dang. And even the coach was like, okay, that's a first.
I'm telling you, I was
you
like,
know
damn.
but but social media presence is important too, so these kids, I mean, you're gonna be kids, I get it. But you got to be mindful. Like I said, it's a business. So you got to be mindful of what it is that you post on social media. You cannot do all this crazy ass posting because they look at that stuff. They're gonna go to your social media page and they're gonna look at your social media. They're gonna know everything about you. They're gonna know who your girlfriend is. They're gonna know what you do on the weekend if you post it on there, what you do after practice, what you eating if you posting it on there, who you hang with. They're gonna know everything about you because they do their research. And that's another thing that we got told. Like they research these kids, you know?
Yep.
So you gotta be mindful of what it is that what it is that you're putting on social media because this is your image is is who you are, and that's what they're looking at. So did that answer your question, coach?
Oh yeah, you've been great. What I've loved about this is like basically, basically the way they've recruited your son and the kids that they believe are going to be a perfect fit for their program. They're recruiting them like an NFL team in the draft process.
They are.
That's exactly
Yes,
what they're doing.
they are.
So
And you know why though? It's because what we found out is because they feel like they're paying them like that.
They
exactly.
are.
That
Yep.
They
money
are.
is like that. So
Just
so
on
the
a whole
fact
nother
that they
scale.
are paying them, that like these kids are making more money than some of the players that get drafted to the NFL, you know?
Right.
Um like you on a practice squad and these kids in college making more money than you. So that's the reason why and that's why I told Caleb, this is an interview, son. When you sitting in front of these coaches and you talking to these coaches, this is an interview. If anything come out of your mouth that's not a sir or a ma'am or a mister or coach, I mean, which I've always taught them, every adult have a freaking title. You better give them a title. You call somebody by their first name, and I don't know, maybe it's a Southern thing. I don't know. But you don't call people by their first name. You better go in there and it better be a Mr., a Mrs., yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You better act like you got home training. And you better get in there and you better talk. Don't get in there and be stuttering and can't get your words. No, you know, and because that why you laughing at me? But I'm just saying, well, it's the truth. It's an interview. You got to
Yeah.
look in the mirror and look at yourself, and you ask yourself, based off of everything that I have done, would I put my ass on that football field? You know what I'm saying? Would I put me in front of the TV? And Caleb will tell you that's how I talk to him. Just like that. You would you let you start if you was the coach? If you was playing that way? So
I,
that's what it is. It's an interview.
yep. It is.
And you gotta look at, I don't care how like some of these kids, like they have this mindset of I supposed to.
Yeah. Like you own
I
something.
supposed to start. I supposed to play. I
These,
supposed to be out there. You don't supposed to do
these folks don't
nothing.
owe you nothing.
Yeah, you're only supposed to
Oh,
get what you
you
earn.
nothing.
Yep, you're only supposed to get
Exactly.
what you earn.
Exactly. And this world would, I tell my kids all the time, would chew your ass up, spit you out, put you back in their mouth, chew your ass again, and spit you back out again.
Triple spit.
Yeah. So, no, you got to work for it. You got to work for everything that you get. You have to work, and that's one thing Dion told him. Like you got to work for it. You know,
It don't
it ain't
belong to
nothing
you.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
given to you.
Oh,
You got to work for it, and you got to have a why. And that was a new way for me to look at the why. So, Caleb's why was I want to be better than my dad. That was his why, and which it has been his why for high school. But Deion Sanders looked him in the eyes and told him, that ain't your why on a collegiate level. He said, and Caleb looked like, I don't understand why that's not my why, you know? And he said, because you're gonna give up on yourself before you give up on somebody else. He said, so
right.
your why need to be about somebody else. It does not need to be about you. He said, because you'll give up on you. You're not
Yeah.
gonna give up on mama. You ain't gonna give up on daddy. You ain't gonna give up on your sisters and your brothers. You'll give up on you. And I
Yeah.
never looked at it that way
Yeah.
until he said it.
You only make you tired.
You exactly. But you ain't gonna give up on somebody else.
Yeah.
If you doing it for you have a reason and a why that somebody else, you're not gonna give up. And
Mhm.
I explained it to Caleb. I said, if you look at your mom and everything that I do, I'll always say I got 3 reasons why. My 3 reasons why is my 3 kids. KSO Jr., Caleb, and Autumn. That's my why. So I'm not gonna give up because my why is them.
So you had a while all along.
Oh yeah, I always had a why. And I always say that. If you look at my posts, I always say they are my 3 reasons why. I have 3 of them. That's them. That's why I do everything that I do. It's them, you know.
Y'all see the video
You
from
know,
out in
you know two
Colorado?
more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know
I
That
the
was
got two
video,
more, man.
y'all.
I said to you. You can have two more wives.
2 more wives.
Yeah, you can have these, these two over here. Ooh, we.
Oh, them your
I'm
wives,
just,
baby.
I'm just dropping them off.
Yeah,
I send them
but
lunch money. Y'all can do the rest.
oh no, 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 no. You can't. I can't afford to feed this one. Like this one over here, eat 8 pieces of whole chicken. Like I tell his coaches, taught his coaches at school when they told me, "Mama, Mama. I need you to get more calories in them. I need you to make sure he got." Baby, what I'm gonna do is y'all had an old nice coaches dinner on Sundays. I'm just gonna send him right on up here on Sunday. Let him eat with y'all because
Yeah.
I can't afford to put more calories in them than I'm putting in them. The boy eat a whole chicken. The boy take a whole pack of chicken wings. I said, Caleb, take some chicken wings out. Caleb, take chicken wings out. Caleb
Eat
in
'em.
there cooking. I said, well, Caleb, you cooking us some chicken wings? He said, oh, all these mine. Oh, okay. Well, I guess everybody else in the
24
house is gonna
piece.
start. Shoot, a whole pack of chicken wings.
Put your pads on.
Put your boy, put your
Shit.
pads on.
So I tell anybody,
That boy
baby.
eating 4 birds.
Look, y'all can. I don't have no problem. You want to feed them, baby? Go forward, cause
What other
mm-mm.
schools y'all done been to besides Mississippi State, Colorado, Houston? Well, he went to Houston with Caslow. What other
Yeah,
visits did you go on?
Oklahoma State.
Ooh, how was
Um,
Oklahoma
Ooh.
State? Oh my.
man, I hate they got rid of Gundy. What the hell? But they let you know. This look, hey, it's a business. But Gundy, that Oklahoma State was so Oklahoma State. Um, what visit was nice. We didn't realize Oklahoma State was as nice. Like their athletic
Oh
department
yeah.
was man, oh my God. Like they you would have thought they was a SEC school
Wow.
because they're all the equipment, the way their weight room was set up, all these boys like have their own, they have these these massage chairs, and that every last one of them, like their locker room is massage chairs. Like they don't have the locker room with just the little bench with the
Yeah, they got
little
them
lock.
Apple engineers.
No, they got the chair, the big ass chair. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they all have like their equipment, as far as they have these the ice machines that the players, I guess, get to take to the room with them or go back to their room and stuff like that. All the individual, like all the individual stuff that they have. And then their dietitian, their nutrition program, like they got this like a nutrition room that sit like right outside the weight room.
Yeah.
And every guy, they got their name on this board. They have this person working the nutrition room, and they make these shapes. So, I'm big on, usually my question when I go to every school is, I need you to, I know what you're going to do for my son on, as far as his physical, the athletic on the field. But what are you going to do for my son as a whole? Like you got to holistically take care of my baby, you know? So I need you, I talk to them, I ask them about financial literacy, because y'all giving these children some zeros and some commas that they ain't never seen, their parents ain't never seen before, so
Mhm.
financial literacy. The other thing that I asked about is nutrition. Like, what are y'all doing? Are y'all testing these kids when they come in to see what vitamins they deficient in? Like what, like all of that stuff. So Oklahoma State was like, they do this they do blood work, and they do all these different counts and look at their different vitamin levels, and then they every player have their own supplement. So
Wow.
after every workout, they get in this line and they come to this little bar, and it looks like a smoothie king is what it looked like. It looked like a
Okay.
smoothie. Got all these damn blenders. It do. They got all these damn blenders and all these different supplements and all this stuff. And based off of what your regimen is, everybody got these little iPads that they have. And based off of what your regimen is as a player, when you scan it, you're going to get all these little stuff put into your little smoothie, whatever flavor you like. And guess what? That's your smoothie. And they was like, they give it to them after every workout. I thought that shit was neat, you know. Um, and then they have which several of the SEC schools, have all of the rehab stuff. But they have like a big ass hyperbaric chamber, pretty
No.
much. Yes. Like that's why I said, like, we went to Oklahoma State, was like, what the heck? Okay, this is what they doing right here. But then you got to look at all the bowl games that Gundy won. You know what I'm saying? And everything
Yeah.
that Gundy did. So yes, all of that brought all that extra money into that school.
Yeah.
So they got all of this high tech stuff, but they got like hyperbaric chamber. They got damn big ass saunas in there. Like they had a lot of stuff. The pools, they have a couple of psychologists on their team, because that's my thing, is you got to take care of these guys, you got to take care of these kids mental health. You're getting like Caleb just made 17, so you're getting these young kids, you're getting babies, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they look like big grown ass men, but they kids. So how are you going to take care of them mentally? Like mental health is very important. If he go out there and he pulls something, or he tear a ligament or something of the sort, then you not only do you have to rehab them physically, you got to rehab them mentally, because now you got a child that went from playing to not playing.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? You got a child that now what's on his mind, am I gonna lose my scholarship? Am I gonna lose my revenue share money? Am I gonna lose my NIL deal? I was taking care of this for my mama. I was taking care of that for my daddy. I was helping my sister with this. So you need a mental team, a psych team going on. If
Yeah,
they don't have a psych team, I, uh, I, that's a problem because
yeah.
that means that you're not going to take care of that athlete as a whole. You got to have they have so much pressure on them. You got to take care of them mentally. And we've all seen it with our past NFL players. Mental health is important,
Oh yeah.
very important. So you gotta have that. So Oklahoma State, Oklahoma State, and then the food. Oh my God, they have these chefs. They had these chefs in here. They was carving off
I talk about
like
that on the show all the time, y'all. I
oh
talk
my
about
God, they was carving off lamb and damn they was pulling big uh Boston butts out of the smoker. And I'm like, I was like, what the heck? I was like, y'all eat like this every day? Yep. And guess what? Two dietitians sit at the table as the athlete come in and they checking you off. Then you until you get to a certain point and you eating the way you supposed to eat, they come around and sit at the table and make sure you got on your plate what you supposed to have on your plate.
get out of here.
Yeah.
One. One,
Yeah.
that's all crazy, ain't it?
Hell yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
But this the things, y'all. This is why we doing this show. Because man, these are gems. I'm telling you, man, this right here should be the most watched show ever. If you plan on your kid being one of the top kids in the country, and if they are one of the top kids in the country, you need to be listening to this right here. I'm telling you, this right here is, I'm telling you, it is recruiting 101. I'm telling you, man, it's an awesome thing that that she wanted to do on her own, and she wanted to inform everybody. Uh, each one teach one. Deal. But I'm telling you, man, this right here is better than talking about a game. I'm telling you, it ain't a game we can talk about. The kids don't, kids want to play on the next level. So now we're teaching you what to do when you get there. Man, this is great here.
And for the coaches too, um, continue to pour into your kids. You know, continue to pour into your student athletes because they may not show that love and appreciation, but they appreciate it, they love it. They come home and they talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They talk about how coach so and so, oh, coach so and so fussed at me about this, but he showed me how to get better and how I need to move my feet this way and how I need to do this. So they kids, they teenagers, they're trying to figure themselves out too. So but don't give up on them. Continue to pour into them because that they appreciate it, you know? Um, I mean, y'all have a difficult task. I will say that. I
Oh
I
yeah.
say that all the time about teachers. I don't see how the hell y'all do it. But somebody got to do the job because I'm sending mine to school. I,
I'm telling
somebody got to do it. I don't see how y'all do it because I know I deal with three of them a year apart, 16, 17, 18 years old. And I say to myself, how y'all deal with a class of 20 or more, I don't know.
Shoot, just
But
imagine being in PE. Oh
I
my,
know. But guess what? Somebody got to do the job because guess what
I'm
mine gonna be?
telling you,
Mine gonna be at the
hundreds of
schoolhouse.
kids at a time. Man.
Yeah, but continue if you love the game and you love coaching, continue to just pour into those kids. Believe me, you're going to reach more kids than you're not going to reach.
Yeah,
And you as a coach, you can change those kids' lives because like I mentioned earlier, y'all have more time with our kids than we have with our kids. Our kids, like my son got home out of practice, 6 o'clock by the time he got here. Well, my house shutting down and we ain't up all night. So we eating, we taking showers, we going to bed,
How
you know.
important is it to have your kid on a regimen, though? A lot of parents might say,
Um,
"I just let them do whatever they want to do. They be up all times of the night."
shit, not
Uh,
mine.
talk a little bit about how from what you see through this entire process. How important is it for a parent to know what your child is doing?
Well, I that's all I know. Cause I mean, I'm retired Army, so I do things a little different around here. And I always have, my brother used to joke with me when I was getting ready to have my oldest Castle Jr. He was like, man, he said, Shanika damn kids gonna come out marching left, right, you know. But I mean, I've always been big on structure. So like I that's all I know. So that's all I've done, is and so I've been big on a routine. Like I've had my kids tell you I have calendars for everything. I have calendars for who gonna cut the front yard, who gonna cut the backyard. So my boys knew me and my daughter weren't going out there to push no lawnmower. We don't take the trash out, none of the above, but they knew, who was going to do what because I always kept a calendar. I keep a monthly calendar of what we eating every day. So you know what we ate yesterday, we have leftovers the next day because they're gonna be leftovers for Tuesday or whatever day it is. So I kind of just always been a routine type of person. Like I collect devices. So yeah, like my kids, they're spoiled. Um, but I spoil them because they're good kids. I don't have no problems out of them, thank God. But so I do spoil them as far as things that I buy them. But they always know, like I always have a thing when I get ready to go to bed. I collect all devices. You better bring me your device and you better put it on the charger in my room because if not, it'll be dead in the morning. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I collect everything before I get ready to go to sleep. And they come in the room with me. Um, I always like they been washing clothes, ironing their own clothes since they was like in fifth grade. And I have a thing where, if you don't wash, your ass gonna find the cleanest of the damn dirty. You better sniff and look at it because you ain't washed. You washed on the weekend. So I just I just always had structure. I like structure. Um, I don't like to ask nothing more than one time. I feel like if I'm asking, I'm begging, and I don't beg children. So,
Ooh, boy, you sound
and
like
so
you
if
get
I so if I ask more than one time, then I'm begging, and I don't beg kids. I don't compromise with kids neither. I'm gonna compromise with adults. I don't compromise with kids, but that's just me. I'm just like that. So, um, and my kids know because that's how I have always been. I never changed up. So I've been that way from the beginning. I've always had that structure, I've always had that routine, and that's just the way it is. It's not saying that I think my kids are better than anybody's kids, but I just have to have that routine. I don't ask anything like more than one time. My kids know that. I'm not going to ask more than one. Who, me? No.
What
Shit,
about
not when I'm
last
the one
minute?
around here
What
working.
about
Hmm?
last minute? What about last minute stuff?
What you mean last minute?
Coming to you in the last minute to try to do something.
Oh, they know I don't do that neither. Shit, that one thing about me, baby, poor planning on your part does not cause havoc on mine. I tell anybody that. So I don't jump and run and do nothing. You can ask them. Ask them what happened. They leave some at home and they call mama, can you bring me? And I stay around the corner from the school. Wait on it. and see what happens. So no, you won't forget it again.
I want
And
you to
oh, what
kill the
else, Big Mama?
rumors. I want you to kill these rumors because you already say you spoil your kids.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I spoil my kids.
talk about this. Talk about this nice vehicle somebody just got recently.
Oh, the 392 that Caleb got, the Jeep.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. So um, it's been it's always been a thing in my house. So let me go back. Since my kids were small, like I said, I'm retired military. My kids always had two options in my house. Okay, that's all you get. Is you get two. You can have it good, you can have it bad. That's all left up to you. Okay. If you lie to me, you're gonna have it bad. I promise you, I'm gonna make your life hell. All right. If you misbehave, now you act up, you can act up in the house, but when you walk outside this house, you better be on your best behavior. Um, so they've always had those two options. The other two options they've always had is you either gonna go to college or you're gonna go to the military. You will not sit your ass around here. Period. I don't care what kind of job you got. Nope. Two options: college or the military. One or the other. Now, when we talk about college, college does not have to be a 4-year
Team
institute.
on our schedule.
Don't get it twisted as if I'm saying my children have to go to university. No, they don't. I mean, you can go to college and you can go get a trade or whatever the case may be. However, you will not sit your ass around. I'm working every day. Your ass gonna work too. You got to do something. Um, so that's always been the two options I gave them. With those two options, I know my kids. They all same mama, same daddy, but they are totally different. However, I know of my three kids, ain't nobody military material. I'm just gonna be honest.
You never know. You never know.
They
Oh
might be
no.
some left,
You
right.
never know. I ain't gonna lie. You
No,
never
baby.
know.
It
All help.
wasn't.
You never
No,
know.
ain't no left,
You
right,
you
hoorah.
never know. You
Mama,
never know.
mama, can't you see? Mama,
You
mama, can't you
you
see
never know.
what the arm has done to me? There ain't none of that going on. So anyway,
We we wasn't
uh,
either, but
look, I'm telling you, none of that. But but one of the things I always told them is if you get a full scholarship to go to college where I don't have to come out the pocket and pay for school, I'll buy you any car you want as long as it does not cost more than my car. You can't ride better than your mama. So that was the deal.
you
So my oldest, full scholarship to go to college. I didn't have to pay anything. He got an academic scholarship, band
well, you
scholarship, bam.
military, well you
So
shit, they would have go anyway.
but guess what? You don't tell them that.
Oh yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
then that kills they drive. They ain't got nothing to work
yeah.
for. If you tell them, hey, you can go to school for free
Anyway,
as long as you stay in the state of Alabama. So what the hell? They're gonna kill they drive. So you don't tell them that. I never told them that. They never knew that.
yeah,
So that was you get a full scholarship, you get a car. So
right.
that's what I did. The oldest got a full scholarship. For high school, he was driving a little BMW 5 Series. He said, Mama, get me something that ain't gonna take premium gas that I can fill up with $25. That's what he said. So I said, okay, you know, and I bought him a 2025 Camry SE. That's what he
Okay.
wanted. He was good. Off to college, he went in July. Well, Caleb, Mama, you know I graduated in December. I said, yeah, Caleb, I know you graduated in December. Caleb was driving my Yukon. I got a GMC Yukon. So Caleb was driving the Yukon, been driving the Yukon to school. I'm like, okay, Caleb, this a Yukon a good truck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a 2019. You know, Caleb, you can just keep driving. Oh, no, no, mama. You said if I get a full scholarship, you'll buy me any car that I want as long as it
Cash
don't
Low
cost more
Jr.
than yours.
Got that cash.
Man.
You like it, daddy.
So, man, so I said, well, yeah, you're right, Caleb. He was like, well, Mama, can I go ahead on and get my car now since I'm going to graduate in December? So I said, okay, Caleb, I'll go ahead on and get your car because I know you got a scholarship. You're going off to college. So I said, okay, Caleb, what you want? So Caleb said, I want a scat pack or whatever they call them damn things. And I said, no, I ain't buying that shit. I said, first of all, you already be floating down Schillinger Road going 60 miles per hour. I refuse. I'm not gonna get you no charger with
Yeah.
whatever that thing is. So um so anyway, um I said, what else you want? So we at Jeep here in Mobile. And I said, I'm not buying that. Nope. So he saw a Jeep Rubicon. Okay. Now me, I don't know nothing about Jeep, so I ain't know how much the shit costs. And the man went over there and started the engine. And it damn rocked the whole damn building. That was so loud. Kay was like, oh yeah, mama, this it. I want this right here. I said, what is that? I said, why is it so loud? And
That's
so the
motor.
guy explained it to me. He was like, "Oh, this a 392 engine. I don't know,
That's
whatever,
horsepower,
you
baby.
know."
Horses.
Yeah. So he was like, "It's 392." He was like, I said, "Well, what's a 392?" He said, "It's a Hemi." He was like, "It's the same engine that's in the Chargers and the Durango, da 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 da, all this kind of stuff." So I said, "Oh no, we're not buying that." I said, "That's gonna go too fast." So he was like, oh no, mama. He said, it's a limited edition. He said, but they put these engines in the Jeeps basically for the
Off
sound,
road. Yeah, and off road.
well, the off-road, the tires or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, they're governed down, so they don't go as fast as the
Yeah.
Charger because they sit up high. Man, so yeah,
Yeah.
me being the mama I am, I said, okay. So I told the man at Jeep, I was like, we went there on a Friday night, Friday evening, right before they were closing. I don't really like dealing with dealerships, so I was like, let's go late. That way we can just pick out what we want, and I ain't gotta sit up here and talk to these folks, and they be trying to sell me stuff. So we did it, and I pretty much just told them, here my information. Call me in the morning. We'll come get it, basically. And
Money
so
talk.
yeah, so
Money
so that's
talk.
what we did. So
Money
they called me
talk.
that. They called me Saturday morning. They was like, "Mama, we got it ready for you." So I said, "Okay," and I said, "Caleb, come on, let's go get your Jeep." He was like, "What? I really got it. I said, "Yeah, come on, let's go." And so
I wouldn't
we
have
went
told him
and
nothing.
we.
I was just pulled up.
Go
You
put
should
your
have just
pants
pulled up.
on,
Hey,
boy.
hey, come take me somewhere.
So yeah, so I bought it, and yeah, I ain't hear the end of it. When I bought it, cause his daddy his daddy said, "Man, if y'all ain't had y'all mama, y'all ass wouldn't have nothing." He was like,
85 Chevy.
You have a Chevette down there.
85 Chevy. What you mean? Yeah.
he was like, y'all
Yeah,
ass,
so,
y'all
you
wouldn't
know,
have
we
nothing.
from
You'll be
Pritchard. We
driving a
give it
Corolla down
85 away.
But yeah, but we end up so we got a lot of course this was after his Mississippi State commit and stuff. So we end up getting a lot of noise kinda about it. But nothing really went anywhere because I assume like they probably looked and said, well shit, you know, his mama drive this and they got that. So it's like, okay, well, hey, this she signed for it.
Hey, that
What
paperwork
can they
don't say.
say? You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
that paperwork.
So
Hey. They can't say nothing about that paperwork.
Yeah, so so that kind of killed all of that because I like around the same time, um, that's when the player from Jackson had
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
had
TJ.
the issue. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, Caleb them had did a video. It's kind of when it all started. They did a video
At the Waffle
at the
House.
At the
Waffle House
Waffle
in
House.
Sam's.
At
Yep.
the
And they was on
Waffle
Caleb
House.
Jeep. They
Who
were on
what you gang?
yeah, they were on Caleb's Jeep. And that's kind of when stuff started being said about it. But like I told Caleb, like, hell, we don't have nothing to worry about. Like, Caleb literally was the Caleb truck pretty much costs about $2,000 less than my car. So when I told him it can't cost more than mine, he made sure it didn't cost more, but he damn sure didn't try to get too much lower than what mine costs. I will say that.
He
Okay.
stretched that
But
all the way to the end.
oh yeah, he did. He
He had a
did.
tape
He
measure on that one.
he did that shit, boy. When I say he did that shit, and then when they called me, well, when I called to find out how much the damn tag cost, I said, "What the hell? Like, why does it cost so much?" But
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
about a 5 to 7 home.
oh no, that tag was almost $1,300
Ooh, see.
for that.
Jesus
Yep,
jumped off the cross and went back up
Woo!
there.
yep.
Woo!
That was
I'm gonna
it. Was
say the
almost
truck wasn't that. Woo, Lord.
Yep. That tag was almost 13
That's a whole
thirteen
house
hundred
note.
dollars. Yep. Yep. And that's why I told Kayla, boy, I need you to get off in school. You right now. You heard my man. And every
It's gonna
time
be a blessing in the
all he
day.
do, all he do is put his foot in the accelerator. That's
It's
it.
gonna it's gonna be
I
a blessing one day.
Oh yeah, I know it will. But that's one thing that I tell people too is because we have a lot of agents that come our way. That's another thing about this process. You start getting people. We probably didn't had about 15 or more agents
Spam risk,
calling,
spam risk.
calling, and Caleb send them, our way. And we end up talking to them and stuff and pretty much just letting them know we're not interested. But it's crazy because the on the collegiate level, agents aren't regulated. So you got agents out here that's charging these kids 25% of their money, parents not reading contracts and they're having these kids sign these contracts and like I was telling someone in regards to the money. Yeah, you look at it, you watch the news or you looking on a sports channel and it's saying, oh, this kid got $3 million from so and so college or whatever the case may be. But what you don't realize is that college, at the end of the day, they are a business. Okay. So guess what? As a business, they got a legal team that's way better than your legal team. They are going to cover their ass. They're going to make sure that at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial to them. Okay. So what they do is they give your child $3 million because that's what you see, the headline, 3 million, you know. But guess what? They done locked your child into a 3-year contract. So
Mm,
guess what that means? Your child ain't gonna hit no portal, because if not, you finna pay them back. You
mm-hmm.
stuck at that school. Your child can't raise their value. They child don't matter how your child perform on that field, they can get them more money. You can't do it because guess what? You done
Lock.
locked your child into a 3-year contract.
Same amount of money every time.
The same amount of money every time. And that's that money divided over those 3 years. What they don't tell you too is they can they depending on your contract, they might say you get 60%
Your
during
performance.
the you get 60% based off of what you do. or you get 40%, or you might get 70% during the season, you get 30% during the off season. I
Mm.
mean, it can be so many different ways they word these contracts and the stuff that they put in these contracts that is not really what you think it is by looking at that big number, you know? And so you got to be mindful of that, and you have to pay attention to that, when you're looking at these contracts and these schools are talking this money. Another thing that parents need to look at also, and to help your kids with, or whomever, guardian or coaches or whatever, is just last week the ruling has changed about the portal. So you only have one portal entry now. You used to have two in a year. Now you only have one. So what these colleges are doing is they making your contract extended. So portal entry January. Okay. They make your contract go to June. That way you miss the portal for that year. So
Oh,
guess what? You gotta wait a whole another year before you can even enter the portal. So you stuck.
yeah.
you know
Mid
so
season.
yep, yep. So just things like that, you just gotta pay attention to the verbiage of things. Get you an attorney, have an attorney to look over it. Although your attorney may not deal with sports management, that's fine. But attorneys know the law. Law language is law language. Legal language is legal language. So they can explain things to you. You don't know what an arbitration is, or different
Mm.
verbiage that's utilized. They can break that down. Although they may not deal with sports management, they can still break the legal terms down so that you'll understand what it is you're actually binding yourself to. These agents, if you get an agent, I'm not for or against getting an agent. Um, but if you do decide to get an agent, know what your agent is taking a percentage of. My understanding is agents out here that will say 25% of everything the student gets. So that's even that little scholarship stipend that your child just getting just because of their scholarship. They want 25 of that. They want 25 of revenue share. They want 25 of any NIL dealings that you get. Whether it got something to do with their assisting with receiving that, you getting that NIL deal or not, they still want 25%. And is sad, but they're doing it because they're not regulated. Their percentage is not regulated. NFL 3%. That's all an agent can get is 3%. That's the max that they can get is 3%. Collegiate, there's no max, there's no cap on it. So, agents that are out here, telling these kids and telling these parents, okay, I just talked to said college, and they're gonna offer you $500,000. Well, they didn't actually talk to said college, and said college giving them 600,000, but they just done came back and told you 500,000. You don't know, you know, and that's it's the game is what they doing, and so then that 500,000 that they putting on your paper with your contract with your agent, they getting 20% of that. Now they
Woo.
ain't already pocket your 100 grand that
Yeah.
they just done taught this college out of giving, and then they put 500 on your contract with them, and guess what? They getting 20% of that, you
Damn.
know, and they've done nothing. Cause guess who got that child to that point to where that school is offering that child and them parents and them
Yeah.
coaches. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
you basically giving them money, and
For
they ain't
nothing.
did shit. They
For
ain't did nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So just things like that to be mindful. And like I said, I'm not saying all agents are like that, because they're not. There are actually some good agencies out there. Um, but I will say, you just gotta know, just read. If you don't understand it, shit, I will pay a lawyer $500 for a consultation or whatever it is to read this and break this down to me before I give somebody 20%,
Right.
and then they try to get 20% of everything for the whole time that their child is in college. Like it's crazy, some of the stuff that's out here. So just don't run and jump at money neither, because all money ain't good money. That's that's another thing. Know what it is that you're getting. Like, know another thing too is you have to know, your child needs to know, your student needs to know what it is that they want. So one thing we did with Caleb is we created a board, because Caleb had like 29 D1 offers. So we had to start narrowing somebody down, because you got 29, and then Caleb was the type of kid that he don't want to let nobody down. That's okay. That's what you got your mama for. I know how to tell him no, and that's what I told him. Don't worry about it. I'll tell him, you know. So we created a board, and what we did with our board was we prioritized 1 through 6 is what we did, but we didn't even need 6 actually, but that's how we started. Okay, what is your number one priority? What's the number one thing that you want in a school, in a program? What's the number one? You write that down.
Right.
Then what's the number two? So, teaching them to prioritize. What's number two? What's number three? And I think with Caleb, we got down to like 4, his top 4. Of all of it, money wasn't in the equation at all. It wasn't 1 through 4. Nothing about money. He mentioned nothing about money, but Caleb is a kid that don't want for nothing. So money, oh
Hey,
well, yeah, it's no big deal. So, but if money is there, still it doesn't matter. That's
I'm
your
rich.
child's. That's your
I'm already
no,
rich.
I'm already rich.
no. So
My mama and daddy rich. Like my little girl be. Hey, War, sound like Kyla. I'm rich.
God damn it.
No, but
Ah!
Caleb would tell you, his siblings, kids talk, and they be at school, and they be like, man, Caleb, you got money, this, and that, well, and Caleb say, he tell him, no, I ain't got no money. My mama and daddy got money. I'm broke, and that's what it is. You broke. You ain't got no damn money. So, but regardless, if money is that, it doesn't matter. Teach the kids to prioritize, because that's how you're gonna be able to logically narrow down your options, because you want to take feelings out of it, you want to take emotions out of it, put all that shit to the side, and let's logically look at our priorities and then what we have. So based off of Caleb priorities, we start putting schools on the board. Okay, number one priority. All right, what schools don't offer number one, Caleb? And he start Xing them out. Okay, that shit, that knocked that list right on down from like 20 something to 10. Real
Oh
quick.
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so that's how we did when we started narrowing down schools, because when you have kids that's getting so many offers like that, it becomes overwhelming. They like, well, who I pick, mama, who I choose, that ain't my decision, that's your decision, because at the end of the day, your ass got to get out there and play ball for them. You got to be around them kids, you got to be around them coaches, that's gonna be you. I'm not out there, so I can't pick for you. And that's what we told Caleb. Like, we can't pick for you, baby. This is your decision. You the one that got to be out there. So, but you help them prioritize. And so
Right.
that's how we narrowed it down. So then we went to number 2, okay, based off of the 10 that's left. Okay. Number 2, second priority. Who does not meet this priority? And then he scratch out another team. So that's a good way to help them narrow those teams down, because they're gonna get offers. Every offer is also not, what we found out, is not a committable offer.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's another thing. These schools
Uh
throw out call them, son, this is Coach so and so from so and so and so, and we really like how you play, da, 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 and we want to offer you a scholarship to so and so and so. Okay. It ain't even a damn commutable offer, you know? They just,
Y'all, hold on, Shanique. I just found out one of the kids that we thought had a lot of offers, they don't have offers. Uh, and
They got
like,
mail.
yeah, they got mail. They got mail. You remember back in the day, we used to get letters.
uh-huh.
Yeah, they got one of them
They
digital
got
letters.
mail.
Yeah.
They got
They got,
paperwork.
they got I'm telling you, man, and y'all gonna be shocked. Y'all gonna be real shocked when y'all find out who it is. Y'all gonna be shocked.
Yeah. Well, that's what you realize that, and but you don't know if you're not. You gotta either have somebody that's giving you this information or you research and get this information. Like I said, I'm more of a researcher. If I want to find anything out, I know one thing about it. There's a thing called damn Google. And you can
Oh, that's the
Google
man.
anything. You can
That's the
Oh
Google
man.
man, AI.
you can Google
AI
That's
is my
the
anything.
best friend.
that's the
I'm
man. Google.
I'm serious. You can Google anything. Before AI even became popular, you can
Oh
Google
yeah.
anything, and then you realize how much stuff is public records,
No,
you know?
it was
So you can find out what you want to find out, even
Yahoo.
if you don't know. And even if somebody don't
Nah.
what you say, y'all, if somebody doesn't tell you, just know that all scholarships are not committable scholarships. Like all scholarships are not full scholarships. That's something you have to ask, because I know a lot of kids that got football scholarships and they not even full scholarships. So parents at the end still having to come out of pocket.
Partials.
Yeah, you know. So just like things like that doesn't seem like is a big deal, in the end can be a big deal.
Oh,
You
it's a
know?
big deal in the beginning.
Um, yeah, it really
In the
is.
beginning. You
It
might
really
go to
is.
class and be
But
like,
see,
hey, your mama needs to send me
but you
some
don't
money.
know how many parents out here actually know that, because I
Yeah.
didn't know it until I started looking into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
parents, you don't know that. A lot of parents, this is your first time in this situation. I know
Yeah.
it was my first time in this situation, and we didn't have anybody like Caslow, went to school and played ball, but still and all, it wasn't the way it was then. It's totally different now.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you don't know, you don't know.
See,
Um,
now
so
now the
uh-huh.
finances is up front.
Well, in a way it is, in a way it ain't, because what I found out too is this. Here we go with another one.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Per NCAA regulations, your child cannot get their contract until the night before signing day.
mm.
Say that
So
again
guess
for the people. Say that again for the people way there in the back. They back in the back by the Sanger Theater. Can you
so
say that
your
one again?
child cannot get their official contract until the night before signing day. Now I fussed about that one. I'm talking about every school I talked to. I bitched and complained about that. And I've told many GMs that's the worst shit. Because at the end of the day, basically, I got to take your word. And I'm sorry, sir, but I don't know you. And that's what I
Right.
told him. I got to take your word, and I don't know you.
And you can cop out.
You can cop out. You can send me a contract
Change
and
it up.
my child and change it up, and it ain't even the numbers that we actually discussed. So I'm very transparent. I'm very straightforward. So I have told every GM this. There's a possibility Caleb ain't signing on December the 3rd. I just need y'all to know that already. Because if I can't read it and I can't have a lawyer to look over it that night before or the morning of, there's a very strong possibility. I'm telling you, he ain't signing on the 3rd.
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
No
And
pads getting put on that.
I've already talked to Caleb about it. So Caleb is already aware. Because one thing you won't do is you will not force me into signing my name on anything. And I gotta sign because again, Caleb's 17. So that's the other thing. If they're under 18, they gotta have a guardian that signs too. And I told him I'm not putting my name on nothing. And I have not thoroughly read it and understand it. So that's a in some colleges the GMs are stating, that that's a rule that they're trying to get changed. They can give you a blanket contract, but it's not gonna have numbers in it. Which still, like I tell them, like that don't help me.
That's bull anyway.
You know what I'm saying? They don't help me because that means
But
I
they
gotta
real
take your
Russian
That's
word.
still
roulette right there,
bull.
man.
Yeah, I gotta take your word
a,
for it.
a
Is what I
blanket.
gotta do.
I'll give
I
you
gotta,
two
I
dollars
gotta take
instead
your
of
word.
15
Yeah,
My last two
on a blanket.
dollars,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lose.
So that's something else that
One
that we
going for
we
the best
found out
part.
in this process is that they don't get that contract. Some don't get, depending on the school, you might not get it to the morning of.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Knowing
and
is
that,
half the battle, man.
yeah,
Knowing is half the
it
battle.
is. It is. And that's why, like I said, I don't have a problem sharing it because like most of us haven't been in this situation, especially during these times where, like I said, it's a lot of zeros and a lot of commas. You know, some situations is more than two, it's two commas, more than one. Some it's gonna be one comma, and it's some zeros. So, just with that, you gotta you shoot as much knowledge as you can gain. Like if I had somebody that told me a lot of this stuff, you know, you can go into these meetings and you can have these conversations because a lot of times they expect you to come into the meeting not knowing. So, they expect you to come in there and they can throw your number and they feel like you just as excited as can be. Yeah, okay. I like that. All right.
We'll take it.
Yeah,
I'm taking
that's
it.
what
I'm
and
leaving.
that's what they that's what
We'll
they
I'm getting
take
on the
it.
next plane up
yes.
out of here.
You said how
Yeah.
much? Boy,
Yeah.
that's more money than you ever free.
Yeah. And guess what? That's what they are expecting. But you gotta think of it in a business mindset. And that's the reason why I'm not gonna let my
You
child handle it because they don't know how to handle business. You as
I
an
hear
adult
parents
need
say
to
it
handle the
all the
business.
time.
Huh?
I'm gonna just let him deal with it. What?
Yeah. Yeah, but why? Because guess what? What business person, when you get offered a job, and this is why I tell Caleb, this is your job. You're on a job interview. They always gonna come to you at the lowest number. Always.
Always.
When you get a job, when you get offered a job, they're gonna come, baby. You know your value. You know your worth. That means that there is always room for negotiation. And you never start the number talk first.
no,
Never.
never.
You never
Never.
start the number. You let them talk.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, never. You don't do, I don't care what it is.
What the
Any
quality
job.
of the situation.
Yeah. You never start the number of talk first. You
Well,
always allow
what
them
y'all
to
think y'all want to give me?
well,
Well,
first
let
of
me,
all, where do you see me? This is how where do you see me
Exactly.
in
You know,
your
I'm over here just
program?
making a joke out of it.
Yeah, I know. But where do you see me? Where
am
do
I
you
gonna be
see
by the water boy or I'm gonna be by the coach?
Do I get Gatorade with this contract?
Am I just here for free t-shirts?
I'm telling you. Do I get a pair of Nikes or Reebok? What I
I
get?
don't need no more cleats. Nah, y'all just got me here to wear cleats. I need something else. Uh-uh.
Yeah, but I mean
Mm-mm.
that's the way the talk is. You don't start the talk first. You let them throw the number out there because then it opens it up. for negotiation. Always, you know.
Cause they can
So
end as soon as you talk.
yeah.
As soon as you say 400 what, $400, hey, good deal.
hmm And
That's the
they
best deal
and
I could ever get.
Well, I was finna give you
they have
15,000.
is that they already have their minimum, their midpoint, and their max. They already know. They already got their numbers.
Well, you saved me 14,600. I'll
Yeah.
finna get
I'm gonna take you out to eat with that money.
a good meal on the
I'm gonna
house,
take you
wherever
out to
you
eat
want to
with that
go.
money. Tell you. Come by my office every Friday.
hmm Oh,
With your,
another thing I would say too is, a lot of players, um, are saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get a car. They're gonna pay for me." Okay, listen,
you're paying.
you're paying for it. You're
That's your
absolutely
money.
correct.
That's your
You
money.
are paying for it because what's gonna happen is when you agree to getting whatever car, that's gonna be subtracted out of your number.
Your
Right.
number.
Okay. They are not providing you with a car. That's the reason why I tell okay, and it's no need them to be talking about some buying no cars, baby. We know how to buy cars. We do not
Or
need you to stop and buy a
insurance.
car. Yeah,
Or insurance.
correct.
No
That's another thing.
insurance.
Okay, you talking about health insurance.
Uh-oh. Here you go.
Both all
Here
Okay.
you go.
insurance.
Here you
Life,
go.
Okay.
health, and car.
So their contract can have insurance in it. But if you already got insurance, don't have it in your contract because insurance, so you have to be very specific with what's in your contract
Contract. Exactly.
because and that's why I say it's important to have somebody that has the legal knowledge to read over it because some of these contracts they'll tell you medical insurance is only during the season.
Wow.
So if your child gets injured off season, they not even
I done
covered.
heard them stories, though, Roger. I
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
heard them. I done heard
Yeah.
them. Yep.
You may not even have dental, vision, any of that in your contract.
You
So
just
just
got
know
body harm.
your child don't have insurance. So
Not
if you
for real.
don't have insurance, you got a child up there that don't have insurance, they're injured, then guess what?
No, I don't want that.
They just, they stuck. You on your
And
own.
then it's gonna be a breach of contract
It's gonna
because
be
it
because
might be
they
a
not
performance
performing.
bonus.
They not performing the way they should be performing.
Yeah.
You know,
Roger, I'm telling you, man, it's so technical now, boy.
it
Tell you.
is. It
And
is.
I
Another
know
thing,
how people.
cover your scholarship in your contract. A lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Cover your scholarship. A lot of people think that, oh, I got this scholarship, I got this scholarship. You can cover your scholarship in your child's contract. And what I mean by that is you tell them that if my child does have an injury, my child does not lose their scholarship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or that stipend. You
Yeah.
can't
Well,
leave that stipend. I might give me a
that's
cheeseburger.
stipend, that scholarship now. That's the scholarship money. Like you want to make sure that your child still gets that, even though they may not get performance
They can get
Yeah.
money,
education.
but they still can get an education.
Man, look at here. I want my
And
hamburger. My
that's the
hamburger and
most
french fries.
important thing.
Yeah.
Put that in my contract. I just want a hamburger and french fries every day.
Not a hamburger.
A hamburger.
Well, you better get, man.
Come on,
I
hey,
don't want
hey,
no
hey,
hamburger and
hey,
French
put a
fries.
drink in my hand for a guy.
I want the Boston butt. Shit, the hell
Man,
with
not
Hey,
the
that.
butt.
Yeah, I want the
Oh,
damn
better leave
steak.
that
I
butt
want the
alone.
sam. I want the good meals. I still
Boy.
need to be able to get that.
I'm gonna tell you, man. My nephew went on a visit to Baylor, and man, he was just blown away that in the apartment, where they had the football players, they had their own chef, and they would have to send their order down to
Mm-hmm.
that chef to make that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, And
Yeah,
man,
some
that
of
blew
these
him away.
schools are really,
Yeah,
really, yeah.
yeah.
And some of them, like I said, they don't stay in, those football players don't stay in like regular
Oh
dorms.
no, no,
Mm-mm, they
no.
stay in apartments, like
It's,
nice apartments.
I'm telling you, your space over there, my space over here, your room in the back, my room over here.
Mm-hmm.
Real with big old living room
Mm-hmm.
where somebody have
Yeah.
to sleep out there with the couch,
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah. That's one thing I will say, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State had apartments for their athletes. Their art athletes didn't have dorms. So they athletes didn't have the center block walls and all that,
oh,
and stuff. They actually had apartments. They stayed in apartment complexes. It's on the campus, and you had two people to an apartment, and it was like an apartment, a 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment. Is what they had, which was really nice.
yeah,
So
my nephew had
there's no need
even
to stay off
Jacksonville
campus.
State. A lot of people don't know Jacksonville State. They got it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man,
So
Alabama done came a long way when it came to colleges. The amenities at these colleges now. I'm telling you, man, it just wows me. Uh, some of the stuff that's on these campuses.
oh
Besides
yeah.
Oklahoma State, what other school you went to?
I did Mississippi State. I did Colorado. Um, let's see. Them the only ones I did.
Okay,
His daddy did. Um,
Houston.
his daddy did some. Yeah, his daddy did Houston. Um,
Did he
his
go to South Florida?
he went to Memphis.
Oh,
We
Memphis.
went to South Florida. So that's another thing too. So, um, about recruiting that we experienced. Okay. Um, he went to Memphis. We went to Tulane. Um, Let me see where else. Yeah, we went to Tulane. Um, Once Caleb committed to Mississippi State, um, then he got some very nasty, unprofessional phone calls from some coaches at some other schools.
Ooh.
I won't name them, but and
They in the
Caleb
South,
being
ain't it?
yeah, Caleb being the child that he is, he didn't know how to respond. He was just like, "Mama," like
Wow.
he said so and so and so. And I said, "Okay, Caleb." "Okay." "Do you want me to handle it?" you know, because I feel like, at the end of the day, he's still a child, and um, I've always raised them to the where they handle conflict with kids because they're a kid. So, if there's any type of when it comes to conflict resolution, you need to learn how to resolve conflict on your level. I feel like adults is not on your level. Therefore, you send them me and your daddy way. We'll handle that. So I was like, look, do you want me to handle it? And he was like, no, mama. He said, don't worry about it. He said, I'm not worried about it. He said, because what I do know is regardless of where he go, I won't go, you know? So that's one thing I will say too is, like I told Caleb, I said, you got to understand too that some of these coaches' jobs is on the line. If they can't get a certain kid, that's their job. They won't have a job, you know? And so, but still to come at a kid the way, like, it was one coach, when I say was he was real nasty and rude. I mean, just the stuff that he was saying. And I'm like, you really talking to a 17-year old, like just made 17 at that year old? Like, really? Like this is how you talk. So imagine if we would have went, Kayla would have went and was playing for you. Like
Wow. Yeah.
this is what you're saying. You know, it was, and it made me mad. I'm gonna be like, it made me mad as a parent. It made me mad to where I was ready to handle him. I was gonna call him, and I was gonna have, it was gonna be some choice words said. But my son was like, no, mama, don't worry about it. He was like, I just know that wherever school he go, I won't go. you know so that's another thing, with this being such a business now, that you're gonna have. And like I told Caleb too, you can't tell everybody, yeah, you only can go to one school.
Right.
You only can go play ball at one school, so you cannot tell everybody that offered you yes. It's gonna be more no's than it is gonna be a yes, because you only can do one you know
I'm gonna
but
think about it.
but yeah, they it's some out there though. I'm gonna be honest. That's real. That was real. It was two, to be specific. It was two. Two of them was very nasty. So to say no, we did not go to South Florida. He got offer from South Florida, but we didn't make it down there. Um, so yeah, yeah. But he still has like I mentioned earlier, they get 5 official visits.
Mm.
So he got Auburn coming up. He got Bama coming up. And he probably gonna have Miami. I think that's probably gonna be the last one we'll do. He's
Uh-oh.
done some visits. He's done several like unofficial visits, but unofficial visits the schools can't pay for. So unofficial visits are just visiting school. Like he'll go to school, he'll watch them practice, be out there on the practice field. But all of that's on your dime. The school can't pay for any of that. Um, but the official visits, they go all out for the official visits. But it's just selling. They got to sell their school. They got to sell their program. So of course, you trying to get somebody to buy into you. So you gonna pull out the red carpet and everything that comes with it. Your best china. You pulling everything out. But you gotta look past that too. You gotta look past all of the cover and everything that they pull out for you, and really talk to people. We had one school that allowed us to talk to the players without the coaches, and to actually talk to the players. And them boys will talk, I'll tell you that. They're gonna talk. So
They
that was a
snitch. They snitch.
They
Don't
told
police
on
know.
y'all ass.
They snitching.
They telling on y'all ass. Y'all better stop lying to these damn
You,
recruits.
you
yeah,
better say what
that
I
they
said.
but I'm gonna tell you what you find out too, though. They talk. If you have some that have come from other schools, which we had a couple that come from us, they will tell you about them schools too. Because we talked to a couple that came from schools that was actually on Caleb's list. And they tell you some stuff. And I thought that was really nice, because it wasn't the players talking to the players. The players, they have an opportunity to talk to the players anyway, because they go out
Yeah,
with the players. They have their the player that kind of show them around. Their host player is what it is. So they have their host player. They meet up with all the players. Some of the OVs, you get to go to the coach's house and stuff like that, and meet the coach's family, and have cookouts and play games and all this kind of stuff, just depending on what school it is. But the
Same
players
setup.
got to talk to the parents. Say that again.
Yeah, they all got pretty much the same game plan.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta sell their
Yeah.
school and sell their
Yeah.
program, because it's like it's their job.
Yeah.
Their job is to get players to where they
Get
win.
more money.
Yeah, they win, they get more money.
Well,
If
I
they
never
not
get. Jamarcus Russell said Andrew Zhao was his host, and he told him don't come to Alabama because he wouldn't wish what he had to go through to on nobody else. How racist
why?
they were to him being
Yeah,
a
they.
black quarterback at Alabama.
I mean it. You. I mean, you gotta look at the big
Pros
picture.
and
That's why I say,
cons.
like they're going to present this
The
front.
best.
Yeah, they got
The
to.
best.
I mean, you got to think about it. They have to. They got to sell you their program. They got to sell you their school, and they ask you. And so this is the part that where I usually trip them up at. Um, Tell us about Caleb. What is Caleb looking for? No, you tell me what you know about Caleb and what you think Caleb is looking for. Why am I gonna give you
The answer.
my turn? Like, no.
I'm gonna give you the answer to the test.
Like, no, like
I came
why?
all the way down here to
Got the
give
And
you
so
the
cheat sheet
I'm
right
answer.
here. I'm
supposed
gonna
to,
give
so
it to
I'm
you.
supposed to tell you what to come to the table with. I'm supposed to tell you what representative to bring out. Like, no, don't tell them. Let them do the research and let them figure it out. You tell me.
Hey, next time I need you to let me know what Caleb wants over here.
You like ketchup or mustard? You better tell me.
You like ketchup or mustard on your hamburger? Or cheese? Cheese or chili? Which one?
You look like an iced tea fella to me.
You might be
Don't
Arnold
come. Wait a minute, hold on. And guess what? You're not gonna have them because that's the one thing. We was in Colorado. Every restaurant we went to, my baby said, they was like, "Well, what do you want to drink?" He said, "Do y'all have sweet tea up here?" They was like,
We just
no."
have iced tea.
We just got ice. We got ice in our tea up here.
He was
You,
like,
we got
he was
ginger
like,
over
Mama,
here.
they don't have sweet tea. And the coaches was like, no, they don't have, you can probably go to Chick-fil-A and get sweet tea. Kayla was like, y'all don't have no sweet tea.
You better
But
teach yourself how to make it, boy. You got hands and eyes. You better teach yourself.
oh,
Ain't
but
no
yeah.
sweet tea.
Nope.
I got to go.
Nope. No
Well,
sweet tea.
I guess this is the end of this visit here. We finna
Everybody, let's wrap
head
this
on back
up.
to the
Turn
airport.
into what you was.
Now,
Turn back into what you was before you got here, Neil.
Caleb, why didn't you go to Colorado? Why do you know they didn't have no sweet tea out there?
They have nothing look sweet out there.
No sweet tea and
Nothing
nothing with
sweet.
season. They
No
they
sweet,
needed
no
they
season,
needed a
no
little
sugar, no.
pony.
Ain't no
Well,
Epsom salt out there. Ain't he got no
they
Epsom
know I'm
salt?
from the South.
Look, no time. I'm talking about nothing with seeds. Oh my God,
No
everything they
type of
want.
salt out there. I'm telling you,
Mm-mm.
No
no accent
Everything.
or nothing out there. Tell you.
Mm-mm.
accent, no pizzazz, or nothing.
Mm-mm. You got
Tell
a
you.
$100 steak and it ain't got no flavor.
Man, we put butter on it.
Yeah, and that they did. They did
That's it. That's all they do. Butter and a little bit of garlic.
that.
Garlic butter.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Boy, I
all
tell
we
you.
can. We're giving you the best.
Mm-mm.
Garlic and butter.
Mm-mm. The mountains were beautiful.
Okay.
Hey, is the breathing like they
Yeah,
say it
how was
is?
Oh,
that?
baby, I caught hell. You hear me? I had
Yeah,
a
they say the
headache the whole
breathing.
time I was there. Yes, so that'll be something you get used to. You'll have to get used to. It's
Yeah.
the elevation.
Yeah, you're gonna
It
feel
that
like you
ain't
got asthma.
Louisville is the worst.
that is
Everybody,
no lie.
Louisville is the worst. I'm telling you.
Uh, Louisville ain't worse than Denver area
Oh,
and
it's not?
Baltimore. Heck no, I done been to Louisville. No, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. No,
Denver,
no, no, no.
Denver, something different.
Denver is called a mile high city for a reason.
Wow.
because the elevation
So
is,
high.
I want to say they say it's 35,000
Yep.
feet above sea level or something like
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
it's high and you
Mile
can
high.
feel it. You hear me? You can
Ears
feel it.
pop.
But the bad thing about it is it's dry there.
Yeah.
So what they have to do, this is what I thought this was cool too. Um they have in their facilities for the athletes, they have to, when they pee in the toilet, it tests their urine to
Oh
Wow.
man.
see, yeah,
Wow.
because they can dehydrate and they won't know it because you don't sweat.
Wow.
You won't sweat. It's so dry there.
So they got that color system.
Yeah, it's a color system to
Yeah. It's
tell
a,
what they, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
your P color is, that's
Yeah,
what your system.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And we
so
gonna pound all
I
this
heard about
Gatorade up in you in the water, whatever else
yes.
we need to put in you.
Yep, they
you
sure
need some
are.
Pedialyte.
Tell me.
You need some Pedialyte. Go get
We're
your
gonna give you
case.
some of this liquid IV over here.
Oh yeah, I need it. Put it in my arm.
And they have to get them oxygen a
Oh
lot
yeah.
too.
Yeah, you gotta
Do they
breathe,
do they
son.
have
Gotta
like
breathe.
portable oxygen like masks around the facility?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Just in
heard about
Yeah.
case.
that.
Yeah.
Cause
It
you
was
always
bad.
feel
It
like
was
you got
bad
asthma.
though. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, like I mean, you got to get accustomed to that, and that was something I wasn't ready for. Because you walking and
Got
you would
asthma.
think, I mean, you would think that it's like you got to catch your breath.
Yeah, you got
You know
asthma.
what I'm saying? And if you feel like, if you ever had a feeling of being like claustrophobic, like you're like
Yeah.
in close, like it's like something is taking your breath away,
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
you
being under
know?
that cover that get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
But
Roger.
yeah,
I'm
but
telling
it's
you, boy, he
you,
got some Dallas.
I'm saying when you get under that cover and it get hot under there, you gotta
You
uh,
got to kick it
take
off,
that
huh?
cover. Yeah, you gotta
Keep
take that
that
cover
old
off
cover
your
off you.
face.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
you have to get used to it. But they say that it actually, they have um Olympus that come there to train,
Yeah.
because if you can train there and you can
oh
go
yeah.
anywhere and
Oh yeah. The
Yeah,
perform
they,
Winter
because of
Olympic
the,
yeah, training facility is there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They say
Now
they have a
I
lot
gotta
of
ask you this question:
uh-oh.
do the students really be out there on Hemp Island?
On who?
Hemp, that's down here we call it marijuana.
Let me tell you about that.
smelling
Let me
good, ain't
tell
it?
y'all. Oh my God. I walked out the hotel. I said, oh, what is going on here?
Everything.
It was lit up. So the coach was like, you're
That's
in
normal.
Colorado. It's
That's
legal.
that's
So
normal.
when we talked to Dion said, just be prepared. Second quarter, everybody starts smoking in the stadium. And he was lying. Second quarter, I was like, this cannot be real. Yes.
It's
They
real,
just
baby.
it is
It
very
was
much
Hemp
real.
Island out there, huh? Our street.
Yes.
A
Yes, it
hip,
was.
a
Yes, it
hemp
was. I'm talking
hop.
about they just I'm ever like just smoking, smoking, smoking. It's you can't do nothing but you're right there with it.
You
You
gotta
just
go.
you just
Pass that
inhaling.
joint.
You
Pass it
just
over here to me.
inhaling.
Pass it
Left
over.
hand side.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
enjoying this visit a little bit too much.
I smell it. Oh Lord, I'm high. I smell it.
Listen, I'm really a mile high in the city.
I got a contact. Oh
Matter of
Lord.
fact, I'm 2 miles high. Boy, I tell you.
I
Yeah,
never been up here before.
but that city doesn't have like um you don't see like a lot of the police were on campus for the game. Like you don't really see like the police out, but for that game, they had that security. Dion had that security locked down.
State
When
troopers
I say
everywhere.
locked, everywhere, all across the field. They every time there's a break, like a commercial break or something like that, they line the whole field.
Get out of here.
Yeah. The
Man.
security talking about coming in to the stadium on game day. Oh my God. Like we was with coaches as a recruit, and you go through a whole process. You have to scan a barcode. They have to do like a recognition thing just to let you in, or you can't even get in.
Yeah, they make sure it's you again.
Hey,
Yeah,
is
they
that you? Is
yeah.
that you, Roderick?
Oh, you all look alike. I'm saying,
All of you
they
look
really
alike. I
you.
don't know. That might be your cousin.
Yeah,
Y'all look
they
alike.
but yeah, they have security. They have security locked down. Locked
I'm
down.
t-
You ain't getting up. You ain't getting in there.
I
You are
love it.
not getting in there. But Dion was like, he was great. He very approachable. The way he get out there, when the kids are warming up and stuff like that, and he out there, he giving everybody pats on the back, and stuff like that, and um, like all of his coaching staff, well, all of the specialty coaches, I guess you can say. So like the D line coach, the running back coach, wide receiver coach, like all of his coaches, and he say he deal with NFL players. He said because we see things differently. That's what he
You know
said.
what I was just really thinking about though?
Mhm.
By it being legal, a lot of people back here in this area who's kind of hooked on that stuff, they could really go out there and make some real money. You sit there and just really think about it. Because you got to pass all these drug tests and all that over here. Well, they got drug testing out there at all. So
Yeah. Or
that's
you can if you got an issue holding employment because of what
yeah,
it
that's what
is
I'm
that you
saying.
do, then you
Yeah,
can work out there because that's what it's legal out there, you
yeah,
know. Now, of course, it's regulated, so
yeah.
you ain't gonna be the one selling it,
Oh no, you
you
go out
know.
there. You
Well,
ain't no little
you could
pookie
you
out
could
there
grow
selling.
6 plants, so you
Ain't no
good.
little pookie around the corner in the back alley,
Yeah.
You know
on
that,
the back
right?
street.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you
You know.
can, but it's regulated. It's heavily regulated by the government,
Yeah.
So you ain't
Y'all,
gonna
it's
be,
coming though. It's coming.
yeah,
It's coming.
shit. Yeah,
It's
we'll
coming.
see.
It's gonna take
Mm.
Alabama to lose to Colorado for it to come on first. They was high as hell when they beat us.
Uh-huh.
For real, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Think about it.
Yeah.
Alabama never got any black football players till they played USC. So
Mm.
so something really has to happen drastic to the University of Alabama for stuff to, pretty much happen around here for real. And a lot of people really stuck on, being local. Ain't nothing like exposure. Talk about the exposure part of it. When you go to all these different places and, your child, from his natural ability and physical ability, is taking them places that you never dreamed of going. Talk a little bit about that. You know, just the exposure
Um,
part of it.
it's so I got asked one of the questions I got asked with Colorado,
Wake up, Matt.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma was, Mama, how you feel about, your child being so far away. Um,
They ain't know
and
you was
so,
military, did
they did. So, um, I didn't, I'll tell them, like, I don't have a problem. Like, I actually encourage my kids to leave Mobile. That's why they'll all tell you they're not going to be here. They're not going to stay here.
Ain't nothing here.
Because I encourage. Well, what I tell them is that Mobile ain't going nowhere. Home
Yeah.
gonna be there. You know. When you leave, some of the same people that are here when you leave, they'll be here when you
Yeah.
return.
And a
Under
lot of
that
them be
tree.
So
doing the same stuff they were doing yesterday.
Under that tree.
yeah, yeah. But you gotta see that it's more to the world than home. It's more out there.
Yeah.
But for us, it's a little bit different because my kids have traveled a lot. So they're accustomed to seeing other places. They know about other places. Um, so them going, you know, to these different states and stuff is not really like a shock to them because a
Yeah.
lot of places we've actually already been. Um, just because they've traveled a lot when they were younger. It got harder when they got in high school because everybody was actively involved. But when they were in elementary school, oh my God, we traveled a lot. So, so it really wasn't that big of a wow. We're so and so place, you know. For us, it's not. But we hadn't been to Denver though. That's one of the places we haven't been. Was Denver. So to see Denver, it was really like, wow, this is really nice. And then Boulder, which I had did a little research prior to going, but I found out Boulder is the happiest city in the United States.
Y'all
Yeah.
see what?
Um,
Less crime.
yeah.
No crime.
Yep. So they have, of course, marijuana is legal in Colorado. Their crime rate is like none, basically. Um, if they have a fight, it's usually from drinking, it's not from marijuana
It's
usage.
definitely not from that. We ain't gonna never
Yeah,
blame that.
You stole my
yeah.
last joint.
You took it out my back pocket now.
You stole my
Yeah.
last joint.
But they have over 300 days of sunshine.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
which a lot of people don't know. So what we found out is because I asked them, I was like, well, it has to get really cold here with it being, Colorado, you think about all the snow, where it's located geographically, and it's like you gotta be really cold here. And come to find out, they was like they may have 3 days where snow sticks in Boulder. Other than that, yeah, they get inches, but because they're so high up, they're so close to the sun,
Okay.
they get over 300 days of sunlight, the snow melts. So it falls, it melts.
Wow.
So they're like, usually it's the coldest, of course, when it's not a sunny day. But with them giving over 300 days of sunlight, that means it's not really that cold. It was like it'll be, 25 degrees, but it's gonna feel like it's 45 because of the sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was nice. It was beautiful. It was an experience, something to see, I will say. So we were happy that we took that visit, and
Happy, happy.
oh
If you're
yeah.
happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yeah. Did you eat the brownie? Did you eat the
Did
brownie?
you eat the brownies they had out there made for you?
Did you eat the brownie? I know it.
Look.
Did you eat the brownie we left on your bed?
No, we didn't eat no brownie, no
Okay,
cookie.
good, good, good,
No.
good. I'm glad you didn't.
I'm
Because you
glad
still would
you
have been in Boulder.
did. You'd have woke up, you'd
Uh,
have been still at the game.
at the game.
Yeah.
Right
No,
here in
we
Mobile, Alabama, thanking you at the game.
no, we didn't eat anything. Let me
Don't
just say
touch the
that.
brownies. I'm telling
Don't
you,
touch
don't
the
touch
brownies.
them
Leave my
brownies.
brownies alone. Them right there, little Debbie cake.
Mm-mm.
Get the brownies that's in the pack.
Tell you,
Mm-mm.
eat only the little Debbie. That's the only brownies we eat.
Cause
Tell
that,
you.
that one that little homemade, oh my God.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it was nice though. It was nice.
Oh
You
boy,
know.
Well, guess
really?
what we did, and it's
Yeah,
our fault. We kept you past your bedtime tonight.
yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
well.
And look, my child is waiting on me so I can go to bed because he looking like, oh,
You in here?
what is you doing? You
What
know.
you got? Who you on that phone with? Better get
Uh
off
Hmm.
that
oh,
phone.
uh
Who you on that phone
oh.
with? My mom
Mama
still
in trouble.
6'4", 270. How much I
Mm-mm.
you weigh? No,
I'm the man of the house.
Oh, like 257.
two fifty
Oh,
seven. Ooh, Lord,
that's a
solid,
Mm-hmm.
size, boy.
solid as a rock.
That's a size, boy.
Yeah. But he
Yeah,
don't really, I don't think he really looked like it
yeah, he
though. I
do.
think his
That
his
height.
height, yeah, his
Yeah,
height.
that
Yeah,
height.
that
Yeah,
height
his
to it.
height.
He
Yeah.
took. He about 4, 5 inches taller than Carlo.
He is. That's why Carlo tell him don't be standing next to me. He tell me all the time,
I
you don't stand next to me.
feel
Little
abused when you
short,
stand next to
little
me.
short man.
All
Yeah.
That short man syndrome kicking in when I'm talking.
right.
That's what I look. I told Kayla, I said, Kayla, you sure you 6 feet? I said, I think you're this strong. I think you
Yeah.
might be
Don't
five
you
eleven.
don't you test it. Yeah, I'm 6. Don't you test it.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
man. It been
he
good having you
tried.
on here, man. We got to get you off because we'll talk
Yes.
all night. Me and Roger did.
Y'all ain't getting ready to talk me all night.
Hey,
'Cause
hey, me and Roger
I
done
done
did an
took
8-hour show before, so y'all better get
what?
out of my-
I done took my shoes out and popped my feet
So
up.
we didn't did an 8 hour today. What you mean?
I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you. She
Yeah,
came on and gave us the extended version of the daytime show.
what the hell?
Oh,
Now you
mm-mm.
done did an 8 hour with us. See that? You
I
don't even know
have
it.
a whole work day. I tell
Tell you,
you. Mm-mm.
tell
But yeah,
you.
it was great. You know, I don't have
Anytime,
a, yeah,
anytime y'all want to come
I
back
don't
on,
mind sharing the information because
I need it.
knowledge is power. You gotta know. You need to
I
know.
need it.
So
Need it.
don't go into it blinded. Um, information. We
I
should.
know on behalf of all our people, there's still a lot of people still on here watching. Uh, I know they really appreciate the knowledge and the information, and hopefully some of them will be able to use some of that information because they'll have one of the Super 100 players as well. Caleb made that group today. That was put out on today, the Super 100 for the state of Alabama. He was one of those
Oh shoot,
kids.
I ain't even see that. I wonder
Yeah,
if Caleb ain't saying nothing about it neither.
he don't know.
Oh,
We ain't put it on the website yet. It's just on
oh,
social media. So he hit the website probably later on tonight.
okay, okay.
It'll get on
Well,
there.
I will say, this too for the parents that's out there. One of the I forgot to mention, I actually made a note on my notepad to mention it and talk about it.
Go ahead.
Is Twitter accounts.
Oh yeah, do that.
Your athlete need a Twitter account, and on that Twitter account, because we even doing it for my daughter who plays volleyball and basketball. So Caleb helped her create her stuff, but you're at a lot of coaches. Well, let me say all coaches, recruiting staff, they're all on Twitter.
Yep.
It's not IG, it's not Facebook, it's Twitter.
Twitter.
Um,
Twitter.
all of the
All the
different
information.
reporters and stuff like that is all on Twitter. I didn't have a Twitter until this. Till Caleb
Well,
was like,
actually, right now we live on Twitter right now. Uh,
"Oh, okay, yeah."
yeah,
Oh,
So
you tweeting
if
it.
you do
You
not
tweeting it.
have, if you
we over here tweeting while we tweet.
You tweeting
if you
right
do
now.
not, if your athlete does not have a Twitter, create them a Twitter. One of the things that Caleb did, Caleb actually taught us This was you can I guess you follow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
follow
followed.
everybody.
That's how he got himself out there. Because like I
Yeah,
mentioned, Caleb didn't go to camps.
show yourself off.
So that's how he did it. He
Yeah,
actually the one that
And
did
you
it.
definitely gotta have some film now. Don't be
Yeah,
on there
but yeah,
putting Little House on
yeah,
the
don't
press.
you
just be texting folks.
yeah. You're gonna have to have thing. You gotta give them something to look at.
Tell you.
Can't just
If you
be in their
need help,
inbox.
and that's another thing too with coaches. If you do not know how to use Huddle, have somebody to teach you how to use Huddle and how to help these kids create their film. I will say that was a plus for Caleb too. Was Caleb had coaches that knew how to put plays certain, like they had a certain order,
Certain
a
order,
certain
yeah.
way that they put them in Huddle for, I guess, for the best look or whatever it was. Which college coaches will tell you, like, that was good.
Oh,
The way they had certain plays set up in Huddle. So for the high school coaches and stuff, if you don't know how to use it, I will tell you MGM coaches do.
well,
Um,
it's a
so
reason why
y'all can,
MGM got 3 kids on the Super 100
yeah, they
today.
know how to, yeah,
Oh,
they know how to use it, and they've done a good job with putting it together for those kids, because the kids don't put the Huddle together. The coaches actually do that. Clip it and however they do it and put the O's and circles and all that kind of stuff that they
oh
be
yeah.
doing in there.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't know how to do it, that's very helpful.
Well, I can tell you
Um,
this: you make that part of y'all nonprofit thing. Y'all do a huddle day and try to help some of the ones who can't be proficient in that area. That'll be something y'all can do with y'all nonprofit. Give y'all some ideas.
I don't know how to do huddle.
I say that's part of his nonprofit, man.
Oh.
I was talking to the owner of the nonprofit, the
Oh.
CEO of the
Okay.
nonprofit over there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a big thing. Is that huddle. I will say that. That's a really big thing, is those clips, putting those clips together. So just FYI.
Roger, at our next
Yeah.
showcase, we're gonna take time to show people how to set up Twitter accounts.
Okay.
That'll be good,
Yeah,
honestly,
We
because that's,
because
like I said,
yeah,
they get a lot of information from Twitter by them following a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of schools, but
I
then
got
they also get seen that way too.
I got 1,482 college coaches on my Twitter.
Oh yeah, you got a lot. God
So
dog.
that's why we broadcast to Twitter. Uh, a lot of the recruiting staffs are on here every time we go live.
Okay.
Uh, I can go back and look at the analytics and tell you every school, Texas A&M, because they never know. This you talking about with the Ryan Williams, the KJ Laces, all of them came from up under, this area, and our retweet be so strong. Well, we retweet you, that means you pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
and I know
Yeah.
we went on a Caleb Morris tour because I just
Oh,
so
y'all
happened to know
did.
his
Oh,
mom.
I must have missed that.
I just so happened to know his mama and his daddy. So I just went on and retweet
both of them.
system over here.
Did you say both of them?
I
Both
said
of them.
both of them, both.
Yeah, right out of Pritchard, Alabama.
They went to that doggone Viga. I
I'll tell you, I get
know
sick
them
and tired of
folks.
folks talking about Viger. Every
I
time
know them folks.
Wilson
Why
can't
they
even
ain't
get
over
about
there? They
100
don't
points.
want to go over there.
Wilson scored 100 points and they still talking about Viger.
Talk about Wish.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, boy, they ain't playing that old song I can't stand. They be playing out there. sick and tired of hearing talking about Michael.
Man,
Tell you, man.
But yeah,
there's a
it's
whole
a
new vibe though. Whew.
it
Whole nother
is.
Michael now.
It is. That it is.
That ain't the spirit was built, but now no,
I don't
no.
know what it is. The spirit out there in Hemp Island out there in Colorado. The
And the
spirit that went to
riders,
Colorado up
Mm-mm.
in the air. Say,
Boga.
Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
man, we
yeah.
really appreciate you coming on tonight. And earlier today, man, you rocked our show earlier. Man, you had people talking about, man, you started watching it from this point and this point. Now they got a whole show tonight just with you. You
He
got
told us
y'all stuff.
everything.
Hey,
Look, that's why I say I don't know how I was speechless with Dion, honey, because I am far from speechless.
don't worry about it. I'm gonna send you our YouTube link so you can share your live experience tonight.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So you can put it
Yeah.
over there on the Twitter. You can put it on
Yeah, I
On
your
the
got
tweeter horse.
on the
Tweeter.
tweet. Okay.
on your Twitter hearts
The
over
Twitter tweet. Whatever they call the Twitter tweet.
there. The Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna have to
The
find y'all
Twitter nigga.
on Twitter because I don't follow nobody but my kids.
Oh Lord, you could just
Oh
text him.
Lord. Look at this right here.
You
What
just
kind of
texting
Twitter you got over there? Your Twitter
you
be
just
off.
texting folks.
I'm telling you, you need some synergy gas
You
over there.
wasting the app.
I,
Oh,
I know, but
You just a supervisor.
shit.
You really a
Woo.
supervisor.
Making sure you don't put that boosie on there.
I'm telling you.
listen, that was the stipulation behind social media. In order for you to get it, me and your daddy had to follow you. You don't
Yup.
post nothing that you don't want us to see. So that's the only people I follow on Twitter.
Oh man, you the
Oh
police.
Lord.
Oh, you the Twitter police. You the Twitter police
I
that be
stay here with you. I follow you.
Yeah,
I'm
for
a
them
stalker.
for them three, I am. I sure am.
Mama's
I
mama.
am. You
Mama.
don't you do
Hey,
not turn
you
you
supposed
do
to.
not turn your location off at
You
no
Oh
point in
Lord.
supposed to.
time. Uh-uh.
That's all. I got everybody location.
Turn it off if you
See.
want to. I promise
Sure, I
you, I
got my
take
mama.
everything.
I need to put my mama location on
Oh
here. She
no,
be
see, you don't, my mama ain't doing that, baby. She'll tell you real quick,
well,
baby.
Oh,
well.
You
your
don't need to
mama
They
finna
follow
cut
me.
they
somebody out.
they get old. My mama and them getting older. They don't know where they going again.
Oh Lord.
Mm-mm. They still gonna
Well,
tell you. They don't want you following them. Don't keep up with them. I'm
um,
grown.
well,
I'm your mama.
my mama be at Mount Karen 6
Hey, my
days a
mama
week.
told me the other day, y'all. Hey, y'all, she said, I'm the one that's 68. I said, God.
Yeah,
I said,
well,
no.
damn. You did like old boy did Kevin Hart did old boy. Damn,
I'm telling you.
damn.
Tell you. Tell you.
Made
Oh
me
yeah.
feel old.
Tell
Mm-mm.
you.
Well, my mama's 70.
Yeah, my
Shoot, how old
mom's
my mama is? What
75.
you 72?
Okay.
70. She's 71. She'll be
Oh,
72.
she loan my mama.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
she on
They might have graduated
you
together.
ain't gonna follow her. My mama, baby, my mama came out of Wilson.
Oh,
Maysville, baby.
Oh, yeah.
oh wow.
Baby,
Uh-oh.
oh yeah, she be talking about them lines, honey. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got 100. They got to
Mm-hmm.
go 100%.
Tell you.
Yep, they
They
got
need
it.
to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
But
you.
yeah.
Forrest Gump. Oh, Lord. They go Forrest Gump
Oh,
showing up.
Forrest is here.
Forrest
Oh,
Gump
we
said
done
it
ran
is
out of
time to go.
footage.
That was
We done
Forrest
ran
Gump.
out of footage. She, me.
Tell you. Forrest Gump said it is time to go. On the way you
Yep.
going.
She did it.
Mm-mm. Yep.
You
Gotta
trying
go,
to get
gotta
the
go.
Jenny. You trying to get the Jenny. Tell you, boy, you talk about somebody was a stalker. Jenny, hey. Telling you, man. Great
Yeah.
show. Great
Thank
show tonight,
y'all.
y'all. Great show.
Thank y'all.
Tell you, man.
Thank y'all. If
Y'all,
anybody need any information, y'all know how to reach me.
okay. Y'all, we'll
Yeah.
get y'all in touch with her. Cause boy,
Yeah.
she a celebrity now. Tell you.
No, ain't no
Look,
celebrity. I just
hey, Roger, all I heard at the my phone over there going crazy. Damn, who calling me? Damn text messages. Who that was on the show? Oh,
no, I ain't no celebrity now, but I don't have a problem sharing what I know. I will say that. So,
tell
if
you.
it's anything that I can help anybody with, anybody that got, student athletes out there and they
I
want to know
sure
just
do.
how to start the process, the conversations. I email. I'm a big email person, so I have like a email template that I use to reach out to people to start discussions with. Just all of that type of stuff. I don't mind helping people out. So yeah.
I'm telling you now, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get them weekly updates on them MGM Vikings out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
I guess I can let off of them now. I got somebody that gonna be monitoring. Watch that.
don't be talking about them Vikings now.
I'm telling you,
Don't be talking about them Vikings. They got a pretty good team. You
they had
know.
one last year.
Yeah.
100. You got to do 100%.
They gotta do
Yeah.
100%. Don't let them little them bars from up in
It,
Stavia Hills come back down here no more.
I know. Yeah.
Leave them where
everybody
Yeah.
be
they at.
talking about 110, but you got to do 100 first.
Tell you,
Yep. That's true.
tell you.
That's
You can't get
true.
to
That's
110 unless you go through 100.
Yep.
So
That's
finish
right.
out.
Yep. You gotta
Unless
go
you get
all
to
the way.
100, Murphy got there tonight. Unless you get to the 100, Murphy got Murphy. Well, you gonna get
Jesus.
suspended and you say anything to 100.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
Murphy.
gonna retrack if you breathe wrong around Murphy right now.
I was just keeping it one. Oh no,
Oh, you
we
gonna
checked for
retract.
5 days.
I don't know. Don't say it. Say it again.
Mm-mm.
Say it again. Say 100. Say 100. Say it again.
But that was
Lord,
like
I
that
think
year.
these
Oh
little
boy.
children gonna try to roll my
Oh boy.
house
You need to make
tonight.
one.
Oh Lord.
You need
I
to
just
make one, KT.
oh
Say it again. Say 100 again. Say it again. I won't. I'm putting cases on all of you.
Man, come on. That
Whoever say
was,
100,
I'm calling DHR and do a report tomorrow.
oh, they put 100% belt to ass.
Oh Lord. I thought you were gonna use that
DHR.
in shells, but I guess not. Belt
Boy.
BTA went out of business for belt ass for real. Tell
Say it
you.
again.
But y'all, we about to get out of here, man. We ain't crossing 3 hours. We've been on 2 hours,
Yeah.
57 minutes, and 50 seconds.
Oh, you might as well cross that, man.
The,
yeah.
the, the outro gonna catch you.
Oh,
Uh,
the outro gonna catch it. All
Yeah,
right, that'll
cause
work.
my name is KT Thorne.
My name Roger Moore.
And we got the
That's
lady that's in
Shanika.
charge.
oh, Shanika.
And y'all, we are out of here.
We
All
out of
right.
here.
Good
And
night.
everybody have a
Peace.
good night. And
All right.
and Forrest Gump said goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Moving in misdirection, number 2. Corey Barber takes it in around left end. One touchdown, Blake Shotfield. 5. And big play is here. Another